everybody, to Adrift in Aldhalor, our weekly actual play show set in our homebrew world of Aradun. Our music is brought to us or licensed through Musicbed.com, and our Ambience occasionally is through Syrinscape, and the other one, TabletopAudio. So check those out. I'm going to bring Shannon on to talk about life. And then
life,
and then our game.
That's a partners. Big topic.
Yeah, what's going on?
We don't have time for that right now because we have a game to get to. So I'm just gonna stick with our partners. How's that?
Fine, that's fine. But I would like a life update at some point.
All right, I got you. All right, hello everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to Paradise. Yes, our partners. Here we go. Starting with Arcane Spectacles. Step into Arcane Spectacles, where every roll of the dice is an adventure. Their exotic wood dice vaults and hand-selected dice sets are the perfect treasure for any tabletop RPG enthusiast. And with their personalized D&D themed Christmas ornaments, like these, you can keep the magic of your games alive all year round. Each ornament can be customized with your party's names. There it is. Yep. Or something else, like all your favorite characters. I need to update this. But yeah, I lost my place, making it a unique and meaningful memento. So why wait? Join them at arcanespectacles.com and roll for the ultimate tabletop experience. Next, we have Underground Oracle Publishing. They are a best-selling, Emmy-nominated TTRPG publisher building new and exciting settings for the cipher system of every genre that you can imagine. Each setting includes everything you need to explore its unique world, including lore, species, descriptors, foci, creatures, ciphers, artifacts, and all the rules that you need to play. Their current focus and Kickstarter success is Harrow the Blighted Plain, a crystal punk fantasy setting filled with fungal oases, massive sand seas, and long-buried magitech. For as little as $3, you can join their Patreon and help shape Harrow in each of the worlds that they create. Next, Edward Yorke, our character artist for all of our campaigns that we've done, all two of them. He's an illustrator based in the UK who makes art for games and books. To visit his portfolio and get in contact with him, visit eyorke.com. And last but not least, we have 1985 Games. They create affordable, accessible, high-quality accessories for D&D and other tabletop role-playing games. Sean uses their NPC cards. They're fabulous, fantastic. What praise would you give these, Sean?
I would say that they are well-rounded and easy to pick up in a moment because I've almost gone through all of them.
And we're only 21 episodes, well, technically 20 episodes in, because this is 21. We haven't played it yet. So, yeah, they're great. And I don't know where I was going with that. But if you'd like to purchase, I just spit everywhere. If you would like to purchase those cards or any of their other amazing accessories, use the code Paradise Prod for 10% off your entire order. What else? We have recaps on our Discord. Sean writes them for us every week. They are quick, easy one-pagers that you can read to get caught up on the previous week's session. We have one for every episode of... Why are you smiling?
Oh, because this week's is going to be improv.
Oh.
I didn't get to write it this week. I will post one so that we have everything.
You do. You always go back and post it. So there's not one for last week yet, but there will be. But the rest of them are there. They're all there.
We're going to have a shorter recap tonight.
I don't know about that, because anytime that you improv it...
I'm going to try my best.
I believe in you. We all do. If you are interested in sponsoring an episode or two of Adrift in Aldhalor, shoot us an email at paradiserpg@gmail.com. And join us in Paradise not only here on Twitch, but also on Twitter, YouTube, Discord, Instagram, and TikTok.
You good?
I'm good. Are you good?
I'm fantastic. All right, let's bring everyone else
go.
in. Look, it's them.
Hi, them.
Hello.
Alrighty. Oh, I guess I'll just jump right into this recap.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I just recapped it for you last night, Sean.
I know.
Do you want me to do it again? I'll just go back in all my pages.
No, I'll make one up. I'll make one up. But feel free to jump in.
To jump in. I got you.
So, last we left off.
Audacity.
Oh, yeah. And, if anyone's not recording on Audacity, do so now.
I literally just sent it in the chat.
I do. I'm recording now.
Shannon's usually the one who reminds us.
It's open and everything.
This is what a week off will do to you, folks.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Never take off D&D.
Yeah, Shannon, your character is now exhausted.
Damn it.
No.
Your character gets possessed by your patron, and you kill every single person.
Yep.
Hey, that kind of sounds like Scarlet. Anyway.
I think I could take an Eldritch God.
Yeah, Fearn's got it. Anyway, last we left off in Aradun, in the continent of Aldhalor, in the region of Reykjavik, our heroes here were escaping from the bandits that have been plaguing this area for the last year. They had just flooded their base, the enemy's base, and were now heading back to Billowgrass, the little hamlet, to reorganize and decide what they're going to do next. They had two options. They could stick around and see the job done all the way to the end, defeat the bandits, be heroes, and then head home. Or, having satisfied a satisfactory amount of the job that they were hired to do, enough to at least get a sizable reward, they could leave the village to their own defenses and head home. Now, this debate led to a lot of debate and arguments amongst the group, particularly splitting them between those who wanted to stick around and be heroes and those who thought it was not their problem and that they should move on, and this town got themselves into this issue. Interestingly, Jacquette and Sass, together for very different reasons, wanted to stick around and save the town, where our more pragmatic minds, like Septimus and Bruce, believed that they would only be getting themselves killed by doing so, and that they should leave and collect the reward that they could and just hope for the best, give the villagers some advice, tell them all basically probably that you get the hell out of here. Fearn, interestingly, was on their side as well. A show of good faith to Septimus, saying he was in charge for this mission and that he would do whatever Septimus wished. But ultimately, Fearn could go either way, because it has been a while since Fearn has had a good fight. You all consulted with the onomancer of the town, the spiritual leader of the town, about the issue, finding that he, although willing to help, may, to some of you, seemed less useful. And to some of you, saying that directly to his face, resulting in him kicking you out of his house and beginning to plan the defenses of the town on his own, because he thought that you all were leaving at that point. But it was in those debates out on the streets that Sass looked to Septimus and said, "You're a strategist. You might not be a fighter, but you can make a damn good plan." And this didn't entirely convince Septimus, but he said he would give it thought overnight. He could come up with a plan by the morning that they would stay and help the villagers out. So, with that, you all took to the tavern to rest for the night, Septimus to contemplate his decisions and plan, Fearn to get drunk, Bruce to draw some pictures of birds, and Sass to watch the road for oncoming bandits, and Jacquette, who had taken quite a beating that day, needed some sleep. It was in this moment that Septimus, in talking with Alicia, the owner of the tavern in the Windy Mercado, had his heartstrings tugged a little bit as she mentioned that they had started planning for their local festival again ever since the heroes had arrived, hoping that they would defeat the bandits so that the festival could go and the festival could be run this year. After a conversation about why she was keeping faith, Septimus may have had a little bit of a different perspective on the people of this town. But that's not the only perspective he had. Because he took this new motivation and went up and woke up a very sleepy Jacques, who was very upset until Septimus said he had a request for him. And that's all we saw of that moment. Now, we're arriving to the next morning, when you plan to gather all of the town to discuss what you have decided to do. You've begun discussing the plan. You're going to, well, I'll have you guys lay out your plan when we get into the game. But it is the early morning. You all have split up at this point to begin the process of your plan. Jacques is heading over to the well to fish out one of the kites from the Onomancer's house.
I'm going to make sure that he actually does it.
Yes, Sass is following close behind. Fearn is, I believe, Fearn is getting the cart set up where you want it to be with Bruce. Is there that changed?
Fearn and Bruce were getting materials, like chopping down some wood and stuff to get ready for traps.
Okay. And Septimus, what are you doing? Are you waiting for all the villagers to gather, or are you helping anyone out with these things?
Septimus would have been at the table concocting whatever plan that he was having, and doing a crude drawing of maybe what he scouted out the town being. Mm-hmm. Maybe something similar to what maybe you posted to us.
Yes, maybe something that looks very much like the map that I gave you all of the town.
More or less. I mean, not as detailed as that, but just key buildings, roads, and topography.
More like the first map I gave you guys that looked like a child drew it.
Yes. That is a fair point.
Okay. So, I guess, let's see. So Bruce and Fearn, you are going to gather supplies. I imagine you're just going off towards one of the wooded areas to gather some material.
I guess that depends.
Yeah, I guess where are you guys going to acquire these materials? Because I wouldn't necessarily recommend going into their kind of sacred forest to cut down any trees. But there's plenty of copse of tree, like there's plenty of trees around, and you do notice there is a woodworking carpenter that lives in this town.
We would probably see if we can get supplies from him. Ask for a recommendation of where we can chop tree down and go to there.
I mean, do we want just wood? Should we try the blacksmith as well?
Oh yeah, we'll want all materials.
Okay, so you're generally going to be going around town to get some materials.
Yeah, but either before or after we have.
Yeah, it's what I wanted to see. Do you guys want to wait till after you talk to the villagers to then start, or do you want to go before, knock on their door, and be like, "We'll tell you what this is for later."
I'll just jump in and say it'd be beneficial if we talk to the villagers first before collecting all the supplies.
Okay. So in that case, then I think...
Because I think, too, that we have a little bit of time to prepare. You do.
And in the villagers, you gave them a time to gather, so it wouldn't be too hard to wait for that. Before we, I guess, kind of jump to that, I do want to really quickly go to Sass and Jacques as they are going to the well. So you're noticing that there are more kind of people walking about than there was the first day you were here. Maybe word has gotten around town that there are people who are working on the problem. Maybe people think like, oh, there's heroes going to defeat the bandits, so maybe we can kind of get back to normal. So sleepily, early in the morning, there are folks walking about. It's interesting because you've been here for almost 2 days now, and you're just like, I have not seen any of these faces before for some of these people. But you get to the well easy enough. It's a small town, and you look down, and you do see a tangled up dragon kite that is all tangled with the line and bucket below.
So you're going to get it, right?
I don't know. Is it really worth it?
Yeah, it's fucking worth it.
It's
Get down
kind
there.
of.
No, no. You need to go get it. You said you
What
would.
does it look like inside the well? Like, how deep is it? Is it like grimy? Is this like an old well, like with decades of buildup on the stone, or is it a newer construction?
Oh no, it's an old well with decades of
Yeah.
built up on the
hell
sides. Yeah. This is grimy. This is a grimy well.
And how deep is it that the kite is tangled?
So I would say from your eye, you're looking down, and it's probably about, the bucket is probably down to maybe like 25 feet down, like right above the water.
And if I try to just crank the bucket up,
You can try that.
yeah. So Jacquette's just gonna go. Well, why would I? And he's just gonna start.
It starts to go, and then maybe it gets like 5 feet, and then it gets stuck, and you look in, and you can see that part of the kite is stuck to something down there. And it is now, if you were to continue cranking, it would probably rip the kite off, and it would fall in. Or part of the kite you might recover.
Looks like you're gonna have to go down there. Shame.
He's just gonna like take one claw and like swipe it across the stone to make like that, like claw and stone sound.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also like removing all that grime to see how much is there. And I hate places like this. We should stay in Hyven from now on. Just do everything in Hyven. Hyven, it's dirty, but it's a dirt that I'm comfortable with.
So you're not used to getting dirty on jobs then, huh?
If I can help it, I'm not going to. Why would I? Do you see what I wear? He says, gesturing to his outfit. This is very expensive, custom-made material. This is not something
Sure
you
it
see
is.
just gallivanting around.
Take your fancy clothes and go get the fucking kite.
So he's gonna take off his like half cloak, and maybe like a few other of the nicer things. So he's just got like a linen undershirt and then his poofy trousers with the suspenders on.
Mm-hmm.
I like that he wears suspenders. He definitely wears suspenders.
I love that.
And then he's gonna take out his 50 feet of hempen rope, tie it around his waist, and he goes, I may not be used to getting dirty, but at least I know how to do it. And he's gonna whip the other end so it like twirls itself around the post of the well, tie it off, and then he's gonna get up, look around. Are there townsfolk looking?
Yep. I was just about to say, as soon as you start taking your clothes off and tying yourself up to the well, a lot of people have started paying attention. I mean, granted, this is not a big town, so when I say a lot, it's like 5 or 6. You see Ari and Portents are there watching from across the street. Both of them all like kind of like covered in like flower decorations that they were supposed to be carrying around town to put up in places, but they're just kind of watching now. And then you can see some new faces are watching it, and like new faces who are like, you can see one of them just like scratching their head and looks to the other one's like, the fuck are these people?
Nothing to see here, folks. Just
Oh, it's everything to see. Come
Nope.
see LaRue, the famous well diver. Come on.
Jacquet smacks her on the side of the head and says, "Don't use that name."
I thought that's the one you wanted. You didn't want people using your real.
And with that, he's gonna start to lower himself to the edge and like, ready himself and make sure it's taut. And he's like, "It's Jacquet.
Come see Jacquet's the famous well diver."
He's gonna just like try to drop himself over the edge.
Yeah.
And then, so it looks very dramatic and cool as he just falls over, but he's very quickly gonna catch himself so that he does not fall very far.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say you can give me either acrobatics or athletics for this.
Where are these? We'll do acrobatics. That's a 10.
Okay, so as you do a little flourish and fall backwards into it to make it look dramatic, especially as you kind of like give that last diss to Sass, it looks okay. It doesn't look bad. You don't really catch yourself though, and you kind of just go. You don't fall down the well, like you're not like skid, but like
Right.
you are sliding down the grime of the well. Like your 2 feet are kind of attached to the wall. While you're holding it, as you're sliding down, your boots are just getting caked and caked and caked in grime and just green filth. As you catch yourself halfway down, it's not super graceful, but you are not. You didn't fall down the well.
Trying to not yelp in alarm from his little fall. He's going to spin himself around to face the interior and try to work on untangling this kite.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check. It's once you get down there, it's like, it's a little dark, but you are able. There's enough light, and it's not too complicated.
15.
Yeah, easy enough. You get this kite undone. You find where it's kind of stuck on a brick of the well, and you're able to loosen it and get it all out of there.
All right, and with that, he's gonna realize he didn't bring anything to really secure it with, so he just kind of stuffs it under one of his suspenders and goes, "This is so degrading," and hoist himself back out.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask for one more athletics or acrobatics check.
24.
There you go. The descent may have been a little bit rocky and a bit embarrassing, but thankfully no one really saw it, except maybe Sass a little bit. The ascent, though, triumphant. Like you're pulling yourself, like just points when you're just using your arms to pull yourself up and just occasionally using your feet to balance on the sides, and you just rise up out of this well triumphantly with a flourish.
Jumps up a little, lands on the side, takes out the kite, and does a little bow, and he goes, "Jacquet Touchard, here to save any wayward kite from a nefarious well." And he kind of shakes it out a little, and then, realizing he doesn't know what to do with it, just kind of hops off the side of the well and holds it a little and goes, "Where should I bring this?"
You're supposed to give it back to the Onomancer.
Oh, right. Crabby.
But I don't think he wants to talk to us right now, because some of us were a little rude.
Oh, he'll want to talk to me. Everybody always wants to talk to me. Come on, even you. You hate me, and you keep following me around and talking to me.
I do.
I mean, come on. It's just the
You're
natural.
fucking phony, but we're in this
Jacquet
together.
charm.
You see all
Together
the
forever, no matter how long. Now until the end of time.
Ugh, that's a fucking long time.
You see some of these other villagers. They're walking away now, not really paying too much attention anymore. You see Ari is clapping very, very excitedly. Hortense is giving a nice little golfer clap with her, but the villagers have kind of been like, okay, cool, that was nice, that was a good job. Like they might later recognize, but hey, you're the guy who did that, but they're not super stoked. But Ari and Hortense go about their business, and they start setting up some of these decorations around the outer part of the Windy Mercado. And you guys can return to your friends to get ready for the meeting. All right. So I'll bring everyone back in and give you all kind of a last chance if there's anything the group wants to cover before going into this meeting privately with just yourselves. You get back to the tavern, and you would notice when you walk inside to meet back up together that Tora and Davin are in there. In the corner at one of the tables, Davin has kind of a blanket over him, and they are eating a very, very, very simple breakfast of porridge. And Yeah, you have this area other than them to yourselves. I'll say you have probably a half hour before you told everyone to meet up to talk. And people have started gathering. Like in the pavilion of the Windy Mercado, you can hear that people are meeting. You can even hear some folks who've come in from the countryside. There's a lot, there's not a lot of space, but they have to tie up horses to fences and whatnot because there's not enough space. And people are talking. They haven't seen each other in months because no one's really coming in and out of this town because of the bandit threat. So yeah, if you have anything you want to cover with each other before the meeting, this is the time to talk about it.
Waving the kite, Jacques goes, "I got the kite. I don't know if this is really worth anything, but maybe the Onomancer won't hate us as much if we show we have some respect for their customs."
I think he'll appreciate us just being here good enough. But I think
the kite is a nice touch.
I have come up with the best course of action.
Good.
As Septimus will lay down that makeshift map he has on the table to show it to the rest of the group. Here's the best is how I saw that this little hamlet looks. We came from this
Clearly
way.
not a cartographer.
All
right, we can kind of make out what we got here.
Damn it, I don't have cartography.
That square
so
right there.
I have almost every tool, but I don't have cartographer.
I was about to say
Challenge your
this
ass on that.
was a questionable jib, and I'm
Yeah.
glad it paid off.
No. But these are the main structures. Here's where we have the Windy Mercado, and here's the hill where the Ornamentor lives and the forest behind them. We came from here, which is the west. We arrived in town from the south. So I propose the best place to fight would be in this stretch in town here. There's tight buildings there. Because it's linear, there's not a lot of space to be flanked, especially we are outnumbered. And if we need to fall for a retreat, we can head straight back for the hill.
All right. First off, we gotta talk to the villagers.
Well, of course. But I'm just giving you a quick laydown of just my initial thoughts. Once we speak to them, we'll obviously have to ask for any resources that they can provide. But I would count on you, Bruce. If we're going to be doing the main fighting on the stretch here, and just for clarity, on the map that Sean pointed, it's just the stretch between where the well is and going up the hill, like above the Windy Mercado. They obviously know that we use traps, so getting the jump on them is going to be difficult. However, it's still vital to our plan, because to prevent people from surrounding us, because there's going to be a large quantity of them, I propose we at least provide some sort of traps or barricades in between the buildings, here, and he points to, in between the buildings, pretty much any place that, unless they were going to go straight down the path that they wanted to, go around, they'd, fall into some difficult terrain or traps, if you understand what I'm saying.
Do we want to maybe ensure that they stay on that path and have one or two of us bait them? Oh, look at us. Come get us.
Yes. I, myself, Fear, and I was going to ask you, and Sal, stand at the forefront. Sass, Jaquette, with your quick and sneaky abilities, would provide utility, jumping possibly from the rooftops or circling around, eliminating any threats that may be out of our reach. I was even going to we'll get to that later, but yes. And then as far as Bruce, same to you, any sort of aid that you could provide to the rest of us that will be fighting.
Yeah, I'll figure out something.
Hopefully, too, I know that the Ornamentor said that there are not many fighters in this town, but anybody skilled with a bow for either hunting, they can at least fire. Ask for the help. They can at least. Well, I'm not going to ask them to jump right into the fray. They can at least stand on top of the Ornamencer's Hill, and if necessary, provide some covering fire if needed.
It might be better to have those that are able-bodied protect the other villagers. We won't have enough manpower to do it ourselves while we're combating the bandits.
Agreed. So I was going to suggest for any unable-bodied villager that can't fight to retreat here into the forest behind the Ornamencer's house. There's cliffs surrounding it. They can't be flanked, and if worst comes to worst, they'd be able to flee without being trapped.
Seems
Sounds
valid.
plan.
Have you thought of property damage? Do we care about?
That's
That
a
sort
really
of thing.
good point, actually. I mean, I think we should go on to the. I mean, in the town discussion, we could preface that. Look, we could stay and help, but you know, your buildings might take a hit, and we can provide some aid if we really need to. But you know,
I think in the end, for
I
most
think
of these people that
they want to rid
are
these bandits.
desperate, they prefer their lives over their property. And I don't know how much damage you plan on committing to the structures itself.
Well, I wasn't
I'm sure
planning on committing any damage to your home, but look how that turned out.
Fair, but that was against.
That was mostly an infestation.
That
This
was
is a
against
penetration of.
magically infused raccoons, where these are just mortal bandits. It seems.
Just saying,
They have
anything
some-
can
no,
happen.
It is noted. However, with the odds stacked against us and the numbers that they have, we need to utilize the structures as much as possible. We're not going to be able to take them one-on-one out in an open field. But to your point, Bruce, we will indeed tell the townspeople of the intention. And if they... if it comes down to it, if they don't like the plan, then I don't know what other option they have.
Don't worry. That's where I come in. I'll make sure they like the plan. In fact, they're gonna love it. They're gonna get behind it 100%. That's the Jacquet guarantee.
I'd also like to emphasize
Is that like
that
a shitty warranty?
I will not be doing any lethal battling.
Oh yeah, it's a good question. Are we these traps that Fionn is helping with?
Just to hurt, not to kill.
So like drawing blood is.
Just not
Well-
to kill, Bruce.
I mean, I'm trying not to, but you know, sometimes stabbing a leg seems to be effective.
If you incapacitate,
I
I
watch
think
you guys.
is the best
Yeah,
course.
you know,
However,
take out
they're-
an ankle. You know,
Back to what I said earlier, they are coming for our lives and their lives of the people. So I will try within my best ability not to kill any of these people, but I'll at least do anything I can to keep myself alive.
And if possible, we should probably take their leader alive this time, Jacquet says, kind of looking at Fionn. Let's not try to, repeat any beheadings or anything like that.
You both were in their hideout. Who seemed to be the leader amongst them?
Well,
can you at
they're
least describe what they look like?
yeah. Well, there's the leader of the bandits appeared to be that shorter man with the glasses.
The one off the road.
Right, the one off the road. But there was someone else there who was not associated with the bandits. Just look at my notes.
A pale half orc,
Yes.
cloaked in black.
Yes. Pale half orc cloaked in black. I don't think I caught a name.
You did actually.
I did.
Yes. So pale half orc. You caught the name Dalen.
Dalen. Yep.
And Barnaby for the other.
Barnaby. Yeah.
And then you didn't get a name for the dragonborn.
For the dragonborn. Okay. All right. So there's this pale half orc who wore all black, goes by the name Dalen. That's probably the one we want to talk to. Barnaby seems like a shithead, to be honest, but he'll have some knowledge. And there's a dragonborn as well that might have some information.
This
But the more
Barnaby,
people,
if he is, as you say, a shithead, perhaps he's a weak link. If we can capture him, do you think we could convince the others to lay down their arms?
Possibly, but honestly, I don't know how much. He was very much a shithead. I don't know how much sway he's got with the others. I think we should go for Dalen.
well, the more people we can capture or incapacitate would be more information for us. So,
Keep an eye out for those three.
okay.
Right. What type of supplies will we need?
Bruce?
All right, so what I'm thinking is, well, first off, we need a lot of rope. I'm thinking, just get me a bunch of scrap metal. I'll make a bunch of like little things. Caltrops. That's what I was asking about drawing blood before. Thinking a lot of pitfall traps, so I can worry about excavating if somebody wants to help me excavate as well. Some pitfall traps with adjacent to houses, and so if people go in fall in the hole and fall for it, and we have like a nice wooden plank, not plank, a board, big old board that just leads against the house and then just covers the pit hole. It kind of trap them all together so they don't have a chance of getting back out. Just stuff like that. I don't know. Can we think of any swinging logs? I don't think we have any vantage point with any trees in this town from what I've seen. But that's kind of where my head's at. Pretty simplistic.
All right, perfect. Make note of that. We'll have to tell the villagers.
I'll keep eyes open.
Sean,
Yes.
just a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
The ornamentor, when we met him, do you say he had like a garden?
Yes. Yeah, he
Was it crops or herbs?
a bit of both. A bit of both.
Did he seem like Did he seem like an herbalist, kind of?
Yes. There is also I'll say just like easily enough, you can ask Tora while she's sitting there for any like people in town. There is a straight up herbalist in town, who is so like the Onomancer is an herbalist, is an alchemist, does a lot of. You saw a lot of that stuff in his home, which you would have noticed that there was also, or Tora could tell you that there was a would tell you about. Give me 1 second. A woman named Fanny. Who is the local brewer / herbalist / rumored to be a witch.
Perfect. Okay. Well, if we have any more questions, I think it's about time to address the town.
Yeah, I've got one more question. Have you guys seen any? So the road that's going towards the Onomancer's house that we're mostly lining traps up to. Is there any adjacent trees to the road? You guys
to clarify, we're not placing the traps on the road itself. We're placing it in between the buildings that lead to that road. So if anybody tries to go around and take us from behind, they'd be captured.
That would be correct. I'm asking it for a different trap question. Is there any adjacent trees to the road?
There would be a few. Not a lot, but a few.
Okay. I might suggest a couple more traps that, if we were trying to split them up, when the bulk of them are together, we could lay another trap down and have a tree fall on them. Hopefully to split them even further.
Kind of like they had on the roads themselves.
Right.
I like that.
Pretty
Sorry.
straightforward and to the point. I like
Yeah.
it.
Keeping
Yeah.
them separated and routed is going to be our best chance for success here.
All right. So you've discussed your plan, and now it's time to present it to the villagers, I'm assuming.
Yes.
I'll say Alicia comes in like a little bit after this, just from that kind of back door that leads out to the pavilion in the Windy Mercado. And you can see as she opens the door and comes in, you can see that quite a crowd is gathered. I mean, it's still not massive because it's just the people who live here and their families and some folks from out of town. Because mostly the people the rioter who went out to let people know, mostly let them know just to avoid the bandits and to not listen to them if they're trying to do anything. But
Right.
some of those people did also come to town to see what was going on.
Mhm.
So you're looking at probably, like 20 or so people out there. And you can see there's this crowd. The Onomancer is right in the middle of the group. And she looks to you all and says, I think that's going to be everyone for the meeting.
Very well. I guess we'll come in and introduce ourselves as we'll all kind of walk into the room.
And she kind of leads ahead of you all and kind of looks to the whole group and just sort of like, awkwardly looks to them and looks to you and goes, all right, so, these are the adventurers. You have the floor.
We don't have much time right now, but as she said, we do come from Hyven. We come to Billowgrass to see of the ailing problem that's affected your little hamlet. And we have found out some disturbing details. As Septimus will pull out kind of that leftover vial that he probably took from Bruce, that was the drug.
Mhm.
It's like a group of outlaws who've posted themselves a couple miles east of here, have been supplying this blue drug to the local residents, and that which has caused the affliction that you've been seeing here, the erratic behavior, the blue scleras, or the blue eyes rather, and the eventual maddening. Now, it seems from what we found that this was both taken electively as a sort of opioid, but also having some side effects. However, we speculate that it could have been snuck into potentially somebody else's consumptions, food or drink, to get them addicted as well.
Anyone who would like to can give me an insight check right now on the crowd.
Seven.
It's gonna be a 27 for me.
Anyone else?
I got a 9, but I don't think that matters.
I'm
got
not
a- I got-
rolling. I'm
I
in
got
the
a
middle of-
19.
What did you get, Septimus?
I'm not rolling. I'm
Oh, because you're taught. Yeah, you're in the midst
middle
of
of
it.
my thing.
Bruce and Jacquette, you obviously are going to definitely notice some reactions. Jacquette, you actually notice some really, really micro reactions. But for what you both notice is you notice a few embarrassed faces, like people who clearly either know someone who has ingested this, or maybe someone who's early enough in their ingesting of it that they're not bedridden, or are currently under the influence of it. You also notice some very downcast looks. You notice one woman who's particularly angry when she hears about this. You see this woman who's very strong arms. You can clearly see soot from the forge on her arms and hand wraps. Short, almost, you for a moment you're like, is that a dwarf? But it's a human. who probably has the most like visceral reaction to this. You see the Onomancer looks very, tired as this is being described, and has this. And Jocko, you can definitely see a sense of defeat in his eyes at the discussion of this drug that's ravaged the town that he was not able to protect. But the embarrassed faces and the anger on the one woman is the stuff that's most noticeable.
Now, that being said, if there are any of you or know of anyone that has been taking this, it will be difficult to avoid taking it again. But you should let us know. Not now, because there's more pressing things to deal with, but for now, I would immediately suggest not, or quitting it entirely. If you have taken it, we will need to do some additional work to, I guess, essentially purge you of the impurities that have entered. I'll pause there.
Yeah, if you were to pause there, you would see the Onomancer would kind of step forward for a second and then look back to the group and say, I've talked to the adventurers about this, and I think after everything settles a bit more, myself and the craftiest of them may be able to help with ensuring that you all, who may or may not have taken this, and he kind of looks around, almost doing his own insight check, we can help you. For now, we must listen to these adventurers. And he returns to his spot, and he looks to you, Septimus, and you can see, like, clearly a look of respect to you now that he knows that you all are seemingly sticking around.
Yes. So that leads us to these ruffians in question. We located where their hideout was, about 10 miles? 20 miles?
Probably less than that, even, truthfully.
5 miles.
Let's see you guys walk there. No, it's like 3 miles, probably 3 or 4 miles.
3 miles east.
Oh wait, sorry, that's where Davin's farm is. No, it would be more like 10 miles. Yeah.
10 miles east of here, abandoned farmhouse where they were conducting operations underground. We were able.
Whispers all to the audience as soon as you say this, because they like generationally at least probably know whose farmhouse they used to be. Yeah.
Right. Through some infiltration, we were able to disrupt, at least for now, their activities. Which has more than likely upset them. We were unsure whether or not we wanted to stay and solve this problem, but thinking it over.
But of course, Jacques steps in, looking at him like, why would you tell them we weren't going to stay? We knew that we couldn't leave you all here alone in the face of this terrible threat. So Hyven's heroes have shown up, and under the great leadership of our leader, Septimus, the strategist, we've come up with an amazing plan that involves all of us, but also all of you. That's right, we need you all to pull your strength together. Understand that this threat is to your whole town, your way of life. These bandits have come in, trying to undermine your simple but elegant lifestyle, working the lands. And it's time now, my friends, to take your plowshares and turn them into swords.
Give me a performance or a persuasion roll.
I'm gonna go.
Or if you got something
no matter
else.
what I get,
Mhm.
no matter I'm gonna do performance, because no matter what I get a 19 on
Yes.
persuasion, right?
Yes.
And so I think no matter what, like Jacques would win over a number of them just with his showmanship. So it's more how well this performance goes off, and whether they can tell that he's kind of going over the top with this, or whether they kind of genuinely believe that he is Okay, and that's a 19.
Okay.
So 19, whatever you want.
No, absolutely. Obviously, there's just inherent buy-in from just the simple fact that this is, for some of these people, new people who took this drug, and maybe themselves were tempted to take it based on the way they were talking about it, the way it was dealt to them. Life of purpose was what was often said to these people. Through ingesting this drug and becoming part of something, they could live more adventurously. And this is you coming in selling, essentially, we're adventurers and we want you to be adventurers too in this moment. So a lot of people are buying in. You can see some people, they are persuaded. They're like, yeah, of course I'm going to help, but why has it got to be so cheesy? And then you hear a few really people get into it at this moment, and they almost immediately where they were all kind of watching Septimus in a little bit of a meekly what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Now a bunch of them are just looking at you, Septimus, with what's next.
Right, and so Jacquet goes, yes, look to Septimus the strategist, and not only him, but we have Furin the ferocious, and of course we can't forget Bruce the brilliant with all his traps, and of course there's Saskia, the sea witch, commanding the tentacles of the deep. And I am your humble servant, Jacquet, the jeweled, Jacquet, the jesterly, Jacquet, the
Gloveless.
word that I came up with. The jaunty,
The jester.
the jazzy, Jacquet Touchard. We have helped one of you already, and at this, he's going to take out Davin's kite that was behind his back, and he's going to walk forward and present it very over the top to the Onomancer, and goes, I believe, my good sir, this belongs flying high above your homestead.
The Onomancer takes it, and you can see this second half of the speech has split the audience a little bit. They're all still bought in.
Yeah.
But it's the introduction of the entire team was very you can see certain people are really into it. Some people are I liked it before. You don't have to keep going. You see Ari is in the audience, and she's loving every second of it, eating it up. But even in that moment of kind of showmanship, as you are saying this, you hear from behind you who are leaning in the doorway. You can look back and see Davin and Tora are there, and Tora does step forward and say, it's true. Davin would be dead, and maybe me too, if it weren't for them.
Yes, so join us, and at this point, someone should hit Jacquet, otherwise he will not shut up. So who's gonna do
I'll
it?
hit you on the side of the head like you
Yeah.
did me earlier. That's enough.
Yes.
You made your point.
As Jacquet has correctly stated, all of us need to work together to rid these. We are prepared and somewhat skilled of dealing with them, but our numbers overwhelm us. But with the help of you and using the town and the resources it has, we can defeat them.
The strong-looking woman steps forward and just says, what do you need?
As far as materials, we plan on... So, Septimus will... He won't get out his little binky drawing because everybody already knows the town here. It's the main road that leads from the well to the Ornamental Steps. That will be the prime source, or prime pathway of us fighting. We will need diversions, barricades, traps that we plan on placing in between the buildings that lead to that road to prevent us from being flanked. If there are any of those who wield a bow for hunting, or at least know how to fire an arrow, suggest that you get some trained shots in. We ask that you would be posted at the top of the Ornamental house to provide some fire, if need be.
You see,
as for the rest of those... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, as you mentioned the trained shot thing, you can see there's these small group of people. There's 3 people there that look a little sheepish at this. You see that woman just smacks one of them across the chest, and then that person kind of stands up, right, and says, "Aye, we've got 3 good shots here. We own the leather shop across the way, in the range. Got plenty of arrows, bows. We're with you."
As for the rest of you, I ask that you assist in getting any sort of the resources that Bruce or Fear and Here need. And then is there a Fanny that's here, by any chance?
You see the entire like audience almost like parts to this woman who's like sitting at the back, like on a stool. That like no one else is sitting on a stool or anything. This woman brought her own stool to the meeting, and you see like a very round halfling woman who is wearing like a really gaudy yellow dress, and has frizzy kind of brownish gray hair that's a little like clearly burnt at the ends, like it gotten too close to maybe the fire of the still, or even her own alchemy situation. She's got a necklace completely made of garlic cloves, and and a very strange hat that looks like it is made of leaves. But she kind of is there, and you can see she's like, as they all part and she's there, like she clearly takes a swig from a flask as you're saying her name, and then kind of looks down. Goes, "Yes."
I was told that you are an herbalist of the town here, and that you can
Ooh.
concoct potions, or you know where to find some ingredients.
Oh, someone's paying attention to old Fanny. Oh, I've got all you need in my shop. Oh, what do you need? What sort of stuff do you want? Potions. I can make some stuff. If you've got time. I've been mostly making beer and a little bit of the old cellar whiskey. But
Well, I'll ask to talk to you in the other room after we break here. I have some ideas that I want to throw your way. But before that, before we part for now to prepare, I didn't want to frighten everybody, because I realize it is quite odd. However, there's one more in our group that I feel you should meet. As Septimus will turn back to the room wherever he kept Sal, and he'll call for him. Like, Sal, please enter.
Feast your eyes on the last member of our party, Salvatore the Stalwart.
And Sal would step out and walk out and just sort of stand next to Septimus, look to Septimus, and then look to the group. And you can see immediately, like, just like clocking each of them. Like Sal really has not met that many people. So there's like a noticeable, like, maybe only really Bruce and Septimus would notice this, that like Sal looks a little excited. Like he almost like, you can see these micro reactions out of it. Like he almost like has like his head goes back and he looks around. Like he's not been allowed to be out like this. The last time his tail nub is wagging. Yeah, the last time he was out like this, that you guys had him concealed completely with a illusion spell, and he wasn't allowed to move properly. But yeah, he does stand out there, and you can see like the crowd. Like clearly, there's immediately sort of a hush and some whispering over the group. Some people looking and like kind of like looking to each other, like the fuck. One person leaves. One person stands up and walks away as soon as they see him. And they don't not like they stand up and like stare at you and like spit or anything. They stand up and they kind of like back up a little bit and then just like completely walk away.
Seeing this, Jacquette goes, No, fear not, my friends. For Sal is no different than any of you. He too Jacquette goes up and like putting a hand against Sal's like torso, holds elemental spirit inside him, just as all of you do. Is he not more your brethren then than any of us who do not hold spirits inside us?
Roll me a persuasion roll. I know it's 19 if it doesn't.
19.
Okay. The guy who started to walk away, he stops walking away. Like as soon as you started talking, like maybe he was like just outside of the pavilion, and then he kind of like stops and he just sort of leans against one of the pillars of the pavilion now, and he still looks disturbed a bit. Members of the audience seem to they're still very hesitant, but they've calmed down. They don't like there's no one with like fear on their face anymore. They're just sort of like, okay, I guess. The Onomancer actually has probably the weirdest look on his face, as he's looking at Sal, like scrutinizing Sal hard, especially when you said he holds a spirit within him as well.
Leaning back to Septimus, Jacques was just like, "It was okay, you said that, right? It's probably fine, right?"
I understand your aversion to our friend here, but trust me, he's here to help and allow us to do so. I'm sure he won't steer you wrong.
Sal is making hand gestures as you talk, thinking that it's helping to calm them down. Kind of like Stefan during the recaps.
But yeah, before we break, does anybody have any concerns or questions?
You would see one person who is kind of a actually one of the hunters. You can see he's probably in his early 30s. Very scruffy looking guy. Very, not a massive beard, but a very disheveled beard. Someone who clearly has, spends a lot of time out in the wilderness.
Does a lot of nerf hurting.
Yeah, exactly. He steps forward and just says, "Do you know how much time we have?"
Looking to Sass and then Jacquette. They're like, it's hard to say. They were broken
pretty
up.
Pissed off.
Say maybe a day or two.
If we're lucky.
Well, we can have our hunters keep an eye on the road. That's helpful.
That would be.
And you're saying they outnumber us. You know how many?
Bring it back again.
Yeah. Wasn't there it was like a dozen or so, right? Yeah. About a dozen.
They are well armed, they are.
Crossbows and some had swords.
Obviously, some are afterwards
how to fight.
magic.
Magic.
But some of us are as well.
And what about
And
our
of course-
families?
Right. Sorry, I thought I forgot something. For those
Just
that
to lock
Right,
ourselves in
with,
our homes?
no.
Shut it! You
Jacquette,
see this
Jacquette,
cat
please.
in this.
Sorry, I'm just a little concerned at all. I had a really funny quip and I couldn't do it. Yeah, it's fine. A moment passed.
Can you imagine if any time Jacquette gets cut off when he was about to do a real good bit, he just starts screeching?
For those that can't fight and that need to seek refuge, if it's allowable, I was going to suggest that they retreat to forest behind the Ordermancer's house. It seems that it's elevated, It's blocked off, and the one-way entrance is through, not only up the path to his house, but also across the bridge that goes across.
And you see at the mention of this, the Onomancer kind of like perks up, because this is almost like, it's like, oh, I get to help, as he kind of immediately steps forward and like joins you in the front, and then looks to the to Jacquette grinning, and then looks out to everyone and says, "Yes, this is where our spirits and our ancestors can protect us, in the forest." I can begin working on preparations to help protect us in there. Your families will be safe in there. Those of you who can fight, please, I encourage you to stay with the adventurers. We have our 3 hunters, and I'm looking at you as well. And he looks to the stronger woman, who nods. Is there anything else? I think that covers everything. Families will be safe in the forest. You all will protect the town. We'll take care of this. Cut it out by the root.
All right. Let's get started.
Huzzah!
You see, as soon as like the crowd, like people, there's some people who are like kind of like, you see like they nod and they kind of like immediately walk off with a sense of determination. Other people look just a little bit listless, like they're like overwhelmed a little bit with all of this. You see Jacquette screeching. No. The stronger woman does walk up immediately to you all and looks to you and says, "Any materials you need. Across the street. Smithy, my father's. The bastard's sick. This dem. Toxin. Take what you need."
Good. We shall.
Next door is Edna's place. She's a carpenter. I'm sure she'll be happy to supply things as well.
Great, thank you.
Let's get moving.
I want to step up to Septimus as the crowd's kind of dispersing and we're getting ready to go. How did that feel? You nailed it. You're a natural.
Yes, yes, I know. Oh,
Not fucking talking to you.
Well, I must say, it's been a while since I spoke to. You really upset Jacquette on that?
Jacquette is crying in a corner, just bawling his eyes out. There's a closed door, and he just really wants to get through.
I like to
Both
imagine.
Jacquette and the
He haven't had his breakfast yet.
I like to imagine a barn cat jumped out of nowhere, and Jacquette made that noise at the barn cat.
Yeah.
Made that.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I spoke to such a large group of people, but
No,
we haven't
you're a
won yet.
natural.
We haven't won yet.
No, but that's a major part of getting the fight started. I know you could do it. I feel heartened if that makes you feel better, but it looks like some others do as well.
Appreciated. Now, while they get the trap set, like I said, myself and Sal, Fearn, would be the main targets on the road. As far as you two, any sort of sneaking or trickery, hopping between roofs that you can do, would be the best course for you in this fight.
I'll
Fine
talk
support.
to him. I'll strategize.
I was also you
We'll
two talk with
strategize.
and you two talk with each other how best to do this. I was actually considering maybe one of you using the well.
Mm.
As you said, Jacquette had been stroking his chin, staring at it. He's like, I was only there for a short amount of time, but I feel kinship. A source of all the goodness to this village. Me and the well, if you understand.
It could be used as a hiding spot so we can flank them as they approach through the. Glad you
How
agree.
dare you?
So, yes, you two talk amongst yourselves.
We'll figure it out.
Fiona and Bruce will do this, and then Septimus points to Fanny. He's like, "If I may speak with you."
Oh, yes. He was waiting for you to talk to me. I've been listening this whole time. And she looks to the three of you. What sort of herbs are you looking to procure?
Are you able to craft an essence of ether?
Essence of ether? It depends on how much time I have.
Well, how much time will it take you? And even if it comes up short, if it's a lightened version, I'm sure I can barter with the DM.
This is now the DM looking at Essence of Ether. Well, it does require quite a bit of distilling and material. Quite a bit of my store.
Well, I ask you to do whatever you can. And I'll ask Sean, just to think about it too, as a barter, if you want to change the DC, the time, or instead of unconsciousness to have it just be sleep. All those factors work.
Yes. I think we can come to an agreement here because clearly Essence of Ether is a
it's
300 gold piece poison,
yes,
which granted would be a different amount, would be 300 silver in our system. So,
but I'm looking for something that does that.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
It could change all those things that I had mentioned. Whatever your discretion of whatever this woman could conjure up.
I'll see what Fanny can do. And Fanny will say that. She'll be like, well, I better get to work on it right away. We'll see if it's ready, if the brew is ready. Anything else you need? You all look like you could use a little bit of potions, perhaps?
Obviously, a couple of healing potions.
I see what I have in store.
Trying to think. Turning back to Jaquette and Sass. Can't think of what we could be used in a pinch for fighting. Anything else that you guys have taken in the past or know about that'd be beneficial?
Is there anything that can maybe cause like a mist or a fog?
Are you looking for a fog? The thing is, with the fog, I'm going to have to brew. Something like that. I tend to medicine and beer and liquor around these parts. I don't often create ever-smoking concoctions. But what I'm saying is, I do not have the stills to work on as many potions as you're asking for between the ether and...
Prioritize the ether. It's just an idea.
They mostly have medicines, anti-poisons, healing potions, medicine kits. Things that the village needs. Not necessarily a thing. I do make very good lemonade.
I could go for some lemonade.
Oh, let me see if I've got any lemons.
After this is...
She's immediately distracted by Jaquette asking about lemonade. And then looks back to you, Septimus.
Trying to check, see what Clayton said.
All right. How about Fearon and I head out and you guys discuss where you want to go, and we'll meet it back up in a little bit. Well, actually, maybe not. Maybe like a couple of hours. Also, Jaquette, do you still have that rock on you?
He takes it. I mean, he takes it out of his vest, but you see him like procure it from behind his ear, and he's like, "I don't leave home without it."
All right. So I'm gonna give my rock to you, Septimus, so you can communicate with Jaquette when you need to. I based on this little map that you drew, I think I'm gonna stay in the Windy Mercado, and I'll just kind of scout for people and message them as I do. That's, when we execute the plan. But for now, I'm gonna go with Fearin and get Duriels.
Hurry up, Bruce.
I'm coming. Gee.
Well, then turning back to Fanny, be like, no, if you could just focus on the one essence, and then any other health potions that you already have would be huge help.
Absolutely. Cleaning out my stores, but I suppose it's worth my life. Alrighty, let me get to work then. And she picks up her stool and holds it under her arm and walks off to her distillery, which is actually not that far. You can see it from here. It's the southernmost building in town, besides the horse stables.
Okay.
All right, so you have these hunters are going to send out some scouts, keep an eye on the road for you. You have the smithy's daughter and the carpenter Edna providing you with resources for traps. You have Fanny brewing up what she can and seeing what other stores she has that she can offer you, such as healing potions or medicine kits. And the Ownermancer is preparing the town to conceal themselves within the forest. What would you like to do next? Bruce and Fearin are going to be hard at work. But the rest of you, what are you going to be doing during this time? Because you don't know how much time you have. You could have 2 hours. You could have 2 days.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
Because this will take an hour. Septimus will go to the blacksmith and ask for scrap material or scrap metal. And with the correct amount of scrap metal, for the next hour, Septimus would like to... Wait, was this it? Yes. Septimus would like to channel Artisan's Blessing. And create essentially like a small cannon or bombard or mortar.
Okay. This is okay. Can you read for me the ability you're using?
You use your channel divinity to conduct an hour-long ritual to that crafts a non-magical item that must include some metal. A simple or martial weapon, a suit of armor, 10 pieces of ammunition, a set of tools, or other metal object. The thing you create can be something that is worth no more than 100 gold points.
Okay. All right, so you want to make basically like a little hand cannon bombard.
Something big enough. What my thought process is, just so you know, and you can picture in your mind, something if the essence can be made or whatever version of it in a powdered form in a bag can be stuffed into it, and then like have the powder like spray out, and that's how.
I see what you're doing.
I would use that stuff.
Okay, let me look real quick. And you said what was the value that it
no more than 100 gold points or pieces.
Okay. Okay. No, you said 100?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. All right. I am going to say this is definitely something you can do. Let me just... Why won't it let me do this? Okay. So you are going to be spending time in the blacksmith with while they're looking through other scrap metal. They'll provide you with the scrap metal to complete your task. Jacquette and Sass, what are you two doing during this time?
I wanted to, as the crowd is dispersing and we're kind of left to our own plan, our planning session, just go up to Jacques and just be like, so you're taking the well, and I guess I'll just watch your back, make sure you don't kill anyone else.
Right, well, you're the one slinging very volatile magics around. If anyone's going to be killing anymore, it would be you who actually killed someone.
You did too, Jacques, but I'm done. I'm done arguing about this. I'm really done. I don't know what's going on in your brain that you can't accept that you might have most definitely killed someone, and that you're no better than us. The thing that's really bothering me, and this is the last thing I'm going to say about it, and then it's water under the bridge. You're acting like you're better than all of us, and you're not. And that's really getting under my skin. Yes, you've got a silver tongue, and you can woo a crowd, and you can, sneak around, and you have good aim. But when it comes down to it, you're no better than anyone else, and you don't need to go around acting like it. I'm sorry for yelling at you.
Apology accepted, Jacques says, and this whole time you've been talking, his face has been like just a slight little smile on his face.
Mm-hmm.
Almost smug. Almost, but not quite.
Mm.
And he just kind of stares at you after he thanks you for the apology.
What?
Oh, I thought you would walk away from this conversation. So if you don't mind.
And I just walk away.
And as you do, he just kind of turns and loud enough for you to hear, but still quiet enough that you might think that he was trying to say it so that you didn't hear. He goes, "If I thought I was better than all of you, why would I still be here?" As he turns to walk off to the well.
And I will walk. Which one of these is the well?
It's the little tiny dot in the middle.
The little got it. Great.
At the crossroads.
The little tiny dot in the middle. Okay.
At the intersection.
Okay. Then I would like to get some height. Can I climb up on top of the blue building?
So the building with the most height is the Windy Mercado.
Great. Can I climb on top of that, please?
Yeah, I mean, Alicia is already setting up a ladder there because that's
Great.
where Septimus said that he wanted the archers. So, like, she's getting stuff ready as well, so you can easily enough be up there. You know, it's kind of like everything else is basically like all these other buildings are one story. Some of them maybe two, and the Mercado is a really tall A-frame
Are the
pavilion.
archers on the Mercado, or are they on the hill by the
Septimus, where did you tell them to be? Was it
Ornamancers?
on the hill, the Ornamencer Hill, or on the Mercado?
I told them to go on the hill.
Okay, cool. Then
Because I don't want them to be in too much danger.
yeah, okay. So there's two of them up on the hill. One of them has gone out to scout the road. The hill is taller than the Mercado at the highest peak.
Yeah,
So
sorry.
if
I want to stay close to the road, so I'll get up on top of the Mercado.
I mean, you could also climb up one of the trees. There's a few older trees that are taller than the Mercado.
What time is it right now?
Right now, so you told everyone to kind of meet.
It's morning, right?
It's morning. It's late morning though.
Yeah.
It's like 11ish, I would say.
Yeah, I'll stay on top of the Mercado.
Okay. Okay. So, as you all disperse to your respective places to prepare, despite the sort of camaraderie and amp up that came with both Jacquette's speech and Septimus's confidence, a quiet tension comes over the town. You see people are You see the folks who are not really in positions to fight, who are little, the children, some of the folks who look a little bit more older or weaker, or who have no business being in a fight. You see them all like in their, like some of them are rushing in and out of their houses, like they're grabbing things, like they're preparing bags, like they don't know if they're gonna go into this forest and then have to flee or be able to come back to their house after a couple hours. They're so uncertain about this, some of them, that there's this not panic, but tension throughout the town. Versus the folks who are a little bit more confident, who are helping you where they can. You have the Smithy's daughter is kind of taking lead on helping you coordinate with whatever you need from the town. And either a couple hours from now or a day or two, you'll be in the midst of your plan. So make the best of your time. We're going to take a short break. All right, folks. We will be back shortly. We're taking a short break. We'll see you in a little bit. See you soon. Welcome back, everybody. Sorry for the wait. I had to make a battle map that was not prepared, just so they have somewhat of a visual reference for if they get into some serious combat here.
We're gonna now talk to the bandits now that you've made a battle map.
I know. It's like, oh, we have come to realize that we really should be more civil.
Are we really so different?
Alrighty. So, you have been spending the afternoon or majority of this day working on stuff. I imagine for the most part, those of you who are working want to be working. Like Bruce and Fear, and I imagine are going to be spending every second they can today doing this. So if you could give me an idea of some of these traps you'd like to set.
So I imagine Fearn is just like taking whatever materials he can and breaking them into like small batches and then like placing them in spots that he thinks are strategically good for a trap, and then just like waiting for Bruce to come and cobble everything together. Maybe we got what's his name, the robot. Shoot,
Sal.
Sal could be digging holes.
Yes, I would have instructed Sal to help out as much as he can.
Okay, so Sal is working with Fearn and Bruce then to set any of that up.
And Bruce was eating right now, but I think he wanted to do caltrips and pit traps.
Yeah, so in between the houses, I would make pitfall traps. With the pitfall traps, I'd probably use a magical tinkering to throw like maybe like a stone under some brush that is on top of the pitfall of like footsteps. Like it just like every so often like an audio noise goes of footsteps going by, and that way they might think that somebody is beyond there.
Okay.
And then
maybe we
to
could
that,
do like some sort of netting thing with like, because there's a leather workers, right? Maybe we could get some like cowhide, strap some weights to it, like it's like one of those nets that goes like over somebody and like pins them down. I guess it's more for like creatures than people, but
yeah, I mean, so if we do it adjacent to houses, bouncing off that idea, we can have a net kind of come down after they trigger the trap as well. Or it could just be the net is underneath and then kind of just encapsulates them in a hole as well. So I think we'll probably run with that second idea.
Okay, so we're doing pitfalls that have traps or netting traps within them to catch them. Okay.
Yep. So not only are they restrained, but they're also in a deep hole. And then caltrops all throughout the main drag and a little bit scattered elsewhere, but mostly along the main drag. And
Maybe in
then-
strategic points to like, if we don't have enough caltrops to cover the whole strip, you know, like just to lead them into other traps.
Yeah. And then set up the couple of trees to be pretty much all the way cut, and then tied down to some, I'll say, like pinned to the ground, but the dirt is like somewhat loose, and Bruce can cast mold earth and just make it really loose so that it's sort of lifted up, and then the tree can fall down.
I see.
Set
it up so
yeah.
that along the road, along the main causeway, there's really only one tree that can do that, and it's the tree that you can see on the battle map there on the along the road.
Like near the hill.
Just to clarify, like,
Yeah.
how is this oriented in relation to the map? Like, which way is east?
Which way is east? East is that way.
Oh, I'm sorry, not east. I meant west. Like where?
Okay. Yeah, they'd be coming from the left side of the battle map. Yeah, so this is exactly where the road kind of, it's not perfect. It's a little bit off, just because I don't have a perfect battle map for this. But but yeah. So I mean that's the one tree that's kind of in a convenient spot for that. Close enough to the road. Everywhere else is kind of along this path, at least, is somewhat bare of trees that could be collapsed in that way.
I might. I mean, at some point, I'd probably instruct Saskia instead of, or one of the hunters, or probably just Saskia, to cut that with some means of cutting that rope that holds that tree down, because I don't think Bruce is going to be able to get it from his vantage
I can
point.
probably blast it, right?
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah.
Sean,
I'll Eldritch blast it.
Perfect.
I have an idea.
Sure.
Could we use the cart to bring some like large like trunks or like round like tree things like lumber up the hill so we could like roll it down at people?
I mean, yeah, you could do that. I mean, you could cut some logs to do that. I mean, you could. I mean, it all. So let me put it this way: it all depends on how much time you want to spend doing all of this, and how, at any moment, prepared do you want to be? Because until the scouts come back, you don't really know when the bandits are going to come. So it's the kind of thing, do you want to be setting up something in the middle of, like, everything you do, you kind of want to be ready to jump into action right away, even if you're in the middle of working on it. So you're doing a very particular tree trap here. You're digging a lot of holes. They need to be deep enough where the person is just in it and not able to just sort of very easily climb out. How much time do you want to be dedicating to this? What do you want to prioritize?
Yeah, I think the better question is, what do we want to prioritize? And I'd say we probably want to prioritize all the traps that are closer to the ornamenter's house.
Okay.
So the tree, and then I actually really like Clayton's idea.
Logs.
And then get a log up top, and then do caltrops, and then do pitfalls.
Okay.
Actually, probably pitfalls and then caltrops.
Pitfalls, then caltrops.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to look at these. For the pitfalls and the tree, I would like rolls for that. So
Nice.
Bruce, for the tree trap, you can use one of your tool efficiencies if you'd like. And Fearin, you can help him to give him advantage there.
Sure. You don't want a strength check, Sean?
Well, I mean, it's either you do a strength check or you give him advantage, because I imagine Fearin's the one who's gonna have to kind of like hold the tree to make sure it doesn't fall properly, or keep it all spotted.
What did you get?
I got a 13.
Okay.
5 and a 4.
5 and a 4. All right. So for the pitfalls, anyone who's helping with that, I would like athletics checks. Yes, athletics checks. You can do one for Sal, Septimus.
Okay. Athletics.
Yes.
Pretty sure. Hold on, check.
I got a natural 1 plus 8 is a 9.
Okay.
Where are you? Well, I think it's.
Can I
just-
give it? Can I give Fear an advantage on that one?
Yeah, I would allow. Do you know guidance?
Do not.
He
I
helps
do not.
me by handing me a shovel.
Yes, I give him words of encouragement. That's a passive I have.
That's called guidance.
13.
13? Okay. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's 15.
15? Nice. Bruce, or not Bruce, Theron, can you give me another athletics check? This is for acquiring the logs and getting them into a position.
How's a 3 plus 8 equals 11?
It's better than the 1 plus 8 equals 9. So again, these are not determining if you can do these things. These are determining how long it takes you to do these things.
Right. Okay.
Alrighty. All right, so that is that's the stuff you all are preparing today. Everyone else, I think, is not doing anything that needs a roll necessarily. You're just scoping out places to be, right? Jacquet.
Jacquet, I don't know if you want me to do a roll for this, but he's going to set up a simple suspension system in the well so that, there's nothing outside the well that would indicate someone's in there. He's basically going to nail pittons in about a foot or two in, and then just string rope through it that will tie around like a harness on his hip.
Yeah, I'll get a roll like them just to see how long it takes you. You could definitely do it. I just want to see. I'm trying to think of what kind of roll. I feel like that might be like a tool check as well. Survival. Maybe? Good one. Thank you. Yes, that was my idea. Survival.
22.
Okay. All right. So that you get done pretty quickly. If Jacquet is feeling helpful, he might even dig a few hits. Probably not, though.
Nope. Not even. You're fun.
I imagine, Jacquet, there's a point where you're creating this levee system, putting the pittons in, then you pull yourself out of the well, and you can see like they're just struggling on those pits. Okay, so Sass, you're just keeping an eye out. Septimus, you're working on your bombard contraption.
Yes.
That takes an hour, right?
Takes an hour, yes.
Okay. All right. So, cool. All right. So then I guess it's just figuring out how long this really takes. So, for the tree trap, this one takes you into the afternoon to get it really set up properly, get it cut to the right measurements, taking a look at it. The logs takes you a little bit to kind of lug them up there and find the right kind of logs to put up there. I'll say with an 11, you're able to get 2 logs up there that can be used.
Am I using my strength or am I using the strength of the cart? Because I was planning on using the horses for some of that labor.
I'll say that it kind of all is all inclusive. Getting the cart up there and through, and the horses dragging it. So this is gonna take you into these 2 things will take you into the afternoon. The pitfalls is where it is probably to eat up a lot more time, just because to make as many as you want to make. You have remind me where you want these to be.
I'd say probably have one in front of the Windy Mercado, so
Mhm.
they can't get in because there is going to be people stationed on top of it. Maybe one down like one of the alleyways where they could get cover from us, like where we
Mhm.
don't have line of sight.
Okay.
That's where I'm just guessing.
And Bruce, any specific places you were thinking?
Or
'Cause you were
at
thinking the
the
alleys mostly, right?
No, I was thinking like adjacent to the houses so that they couldn't duck in between. So because there
Yeah,
was a
that's
pitfall there. Yeah.
that's what I
Yeah.
meant by that.
Yeah.
So like
the
one like
entrances to the alleyways.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Okay, so I'm thinking like that would be, if you're just trying to make it so they have to go a longer way around, you'd probably be looking at digging, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 pitfalls would be probably
I can help with them too, because I imagine I don't, just
it's about an
lazing
hour.
about on
It's about
top
an
of the-
hour into everyone working on stuff that you kind of
Yeah.
look down and see that they could use some help.
Oh fuck! I should probably go help.
So go ahead and give me an athletics check,
Yeah.
Saskia.
You got it, boss. Ooh, 21.
That'll definitely help.
Also, Clayton proposed a very awesome idea. I'm not taking credit for it because it's a cool idea. Can I also set up a zip line from the top of the Windy Mercato down to the ground so I can have
a zip line.
yeah if in case someone maybe
Yeah.
me were to run out of spell slots for say Misty Step. I can get
So you
down
don't
quickly.
have to slowly climb down
Yes.
the whole time.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I could say you can you can get some help and drag a rope over and set that up. That's definitely something you can do. You can do it to it's like goes from the Windy Mercado down to like the where the entrance to the hill is. Okay. That's a good idea. I'm gonna say it's about like 3 o'clock when people start to mosey around, and some people actually come out to help you with the digging. So it's once they've come to help you, you're able to really quicken the pace and get all of your holes dug by dinner time.
Also, I just want to throw in another wrench in there. Bruce does have the cantrip mold earth, which can excavate a 5-foot cube of dirt.
Okay, well then,
And so
then,
he can continually do that.
Then I'm going to say that
Give us
you could
another
just do
tree.
that. Yeah, I'll give you another tree. I'll give you some more logs. Yeah, because Bruce could get this entire thing done in like a half hour then.
Yeah, he's got it. He's got it covered.
All right, well, with that in mind, then yes, I'll say you're able to set up a few more like sophisticated traps. Basically, I'm gonna say that you can get you have your logs up at the top of the hill, and I'll say you've set up some traps where there aren't trees to drop. You kind of like are able to, with the abundance of time you have now, get logs and tie them in a way that they can be dropped down. They won't be as big as a full tree, but they can definitely do some damage, and they could definitely make it difficult to maneuver around the alleys.
Nice.
Cool. I'll even say, if you want, that if you have some extra time, you could throw a bit of makeshift barricade on the back entrance to the hill, if that's something you're interested in.
Yeah.
You mean
Yeah,
like
we're
like near where the forest is, or
No. There's a second set of stairs on the hill. The hill has 2 entrances. The forest only has 1. Because I know you guys were trying to keep them from getting up to you from
to see
behind.
that.
So that back little entrance might be a place to either set up traps or put a barricade.
Yeah, maybe
of
just
sorts.
like another log or two.
Yeah,
just roll
because there's
down there.
definitely trees over there that you could get a good fall on one of those.
Yeah, we just knock one tree down if we see him coming from that way, or we like leave one lookout there, and if they see them coming, they just set the tree on fire with oil or something and run away. And that
Okay.
way we can see the smoke and we know that they're there.
Cool. I'm fine with that. You want to recruit one of the villagers to be on tree duty back there?
One of the kids. They like fire.
Ari's on it. She'll use
Nothing could go wrong
she'll
there.
use her pitten. It's actually a good opportunity to actually give her a dagger because she needs to cut the rope.
Was thinking ahead.
Okay, so we have 2 tree drop traps. We've got 5 fairly deep pitfalls. Anything else? Because now with this with the 2 trees, it'll take you into the afternoon, and there has not been word that at that point there has not been word from the scouts that the bandits are here yet.
How often do the scouts check in?
You would see one of the archers kind of goes out and comes back, and they kind of swap places, and that's how they're bringing news back. One goes out for a certain amount of time, another goes out to replace them. They come back. You have 3 guys doing that.
Okay. If Fearn has extra time, he would probably just like try and sit on the hill, like maybe on top of his newly formed trap, and just to get like a good vantage and look out into the distance. And I don't know, not really look for guidance from the spirits or anything like that, but like if he sees something, he's just doing his own sort of scouting from his position.
Absolutely. I imagine at this point it's approaching dinner time. You see Alicia's coming out with bowls of food for each of you. All of you have kind of been working in your own capacity. As it's getting later in the day, you've set up your traps. Your folks know where they're supposed to be. People have started to gather to go and conceal themselves in the forest. You see people are even like bringing tents and stuff. Like they're not even planning. They're planning on just like staying there no matter how long they have to. They have some carts that are going in with food as well. Town is as ready as I think it can be as far as what you all want to do with it.
Oh, Sean, one last thing. You said there was a blacksmith?
Yes.
Does he have any weapons or shields or anything that we can use? I know you said it was mostly just like horseshoes and stuff, but he's got to have something back there.
Not really, truthfully. He has some like like you said, pots and pans can be weapons. So people can take those. There's probably mostly, if there's any kind of weapon in there, it's like a purposeful knife or dagger that is useful around the house. There's the only sword in there and shield are the blacksmith's personal sword and shield, which his daughter is wielding right now.
Can I take the wood chopping axe?
Yeah, you could definitely take the wood chopping axe.
Is
I'm
it
gonna
a
take
tiny axe or
the
a big
largest-
axe?
Like a straight out like a wood chopping axe. It's not a hand axe. I'd say it's an axe, a full axe.
Great axe. Okay.
It's not a great axe. It's not a great axe. If you're gonna do anything, it's a battle axe.
Okay, I'll take it.
I'm gonna take the largest pan he has.
Absolutely. There's this very, very sturdy cast iron pan that you can find in there.
Sweet. All right.
Yeah.
I could barely wield it.
I imagine Bruce holding it up and it just like tips him forward. Or tips him back when he goes to swing it. All right, yeah, you've got that cast iron pan. You've got a woodsman's axe.
I'd
Do y'all
like
want-
to summon my sword.
You can summon your sword, so it doesn't take an action in combat. All right, so I think at this point it's time for you to get into position and wait for the scouts to let you know when they're coming.
Okay.
Make that noise as I climb up. Toot, 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 toot.
Yeah, cool.
All right. So we have Jacquette. Imagine you're hanging out by the well until you can sink down in it.
Oh yeah, he's probably waxing poetically to anyone that'll listen about the coming fight.
Basically, it's the barn cat that's following Jacquette now. It's the blacksmith's daughter who's kind of out there. I imagine Septimus and Thearn are coming out to the streets to be the bait that you said you were going to be. And Sass, you're going to be on top of the Windy Mercado. Okay, and Bruce, where are you going to be on? Where are you going to be?
So Bruce is going to be inside the Windy Mercado.
Okay.
And if there's a basement or anything, or if he can kind of board up the windows and stuff like that, that would be just good for him to know.
Yeah, you can find. There's definitely a very small storage basement cellar that you can go into, and lock the door behind you.
All right, he won't resort to that just yet.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Cool. And you can see, like, really the only entrance is, it's like one of those outdoor cellars that you open up the two doors, and then there's like a small window that you can see just a little bit out of. Just a cold place to store stuff. Excellent. All right. So, let's just. Now. Archers are across the way. Sass, you're kind of like in a position you can see the two archers lazing there, their bows set up, some small barrels of arrows, small buckets of arrows. And it gets closer to sunset now. Hours go by very painfully slow. 5, 6 p.m. Stomachs grumble. 7 p.m. Sun's low in the sky. And that's when you would see the scout returning. Comes rushing up to where Thearn, Jacquette, and Septimus are. And I imagine Sal, just sort of out of breath, looks to you 3, 4, and says, "Oh, they're coming. You right?"
Hi.
Did you get a count?
I think there was 13 of them. I think
All armed or?
swords.
Oh, okay. So they're out for blood. Okay. All right.
Yeah, coming with torches as well.
Oh. They plan on burning.
I hope not.
That sucks. All right. All right, everybody, get into positions.
Dally ho! Jacques says as he wraps himself up and drops down.
Okay. The archer runs off to hop up onto the hill with the other archers. A few stragglers run with him up there to head into the forest. But they'll be here any moment now.
Sean, even though I am the bait, is there any sort of like barricade or half cover that I can use? Just in case they have like 100 arrows shooting at me right off the bat.
I mean, you would have had plenty of time to have like sort of put something in the street and like grabbed some wood or dragged a wheelbarrow or cart. Yeah, like literally, you could just flip over a table out in the street. It's easy enough. I'll say you and Septimus and Sal have 2 tables on either side of the streets that you can hide behind. Okay.
I'm gonna prepare cast Armor of Agathis when they get close. And I guess I'll look towards Septimus, who isn't here right at the moment, and say,
Yeah.
"Oh, wait for your cue."
Yes. Okay. A little difficult to start without Mike here.
I know.
um.
He feels very nervous, and he wants Fearn to do all the talking.
You're muted, Alex.
Oh, I just, yeah. Persco just texted me saying that he wants Fear to do all the talking.
Jacquette's got to jump out of the well real quick.
Not over my dead body.
Okay.
Only over my dead body.
All right. So, Fearn and Septimus can, and Sass as well, can see the torches in the distance now. Bruce, I imagine you're inside as soon as anyone mentions torches.
Yeah, no, he's gone.
Yeah.
He's cowering in a corner. And by cowering, he's just very still.
Yeah. So, ye torches are in the distance. They are just outside of town, heading towards Philippines. Bruce is inside. Fearn and Septimus are out in the street with Sal.
I apologize. Can you catch me up quickly?
They're here.
They're here, basically.
Okay, they're here.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
You're
Oh,
hiding behind a table in the street.
They were able to make pit traps between the houses. They were able to set up 2 tree traps, one by the entrance to the hill and one in the back entrance to the hill. They've also got a couple logs on the hill to roll down if necessary.
Was Fanny able to get that potion ready at all?
I completely forgot about that. Let me just roll for that right now. Fanny is able to get you a weakened version of it. So I'll say that the DC is a little lower. I'll say that the DC is 13. And the poisoned creature does not become unconscious, but becomes incapacitated for a full round.
Okay.
And then gets to make the roll again, basically. They're incapacitated till they make their save.
Got it. Okay, then I will stuff it in the hand cannon that I made. And Bruce, where were you planning on hiding?
Bruce is in the windy. Oh my god, the windy Mercado.
Could I trust you to point it like out the window and fire it?
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you want Bruce. Maybe, as if you set it up right.
Well, yeah, I guess that would be Septimus' thing. He'd set it up and try to conceal it as best he can, so it's not obvious that there's a cannon pointing out. Like, put it under, or not under, but just hide it around debris and stuff.
You could give it to Sass, who is hiding on the roof of the Windy Mercado.
Yeah, that's probably a little
I guess
better.
that's actually a better call. Isn't
And
it?
she can see.
Yeah, more
yes.
importantly.
Oh, but I like the idea of Bruce getting his moment of glory in combat.
You'd have to you'd have to aim it before Bruce and leave it in that exact position.
I imagine you
Just hit
smashing
this
it with the pan.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Right,
Bruce also grabbed a frying pan from the blacksmith as his weapon.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm just curious. Like, if her on the roof, would she be able to effectively shoot it and hit them?
Yes, the roof is angled, so she'd have to be careful and kind of get down a little bit, but she could fire it downward.
All right, I would give it to
her.
her. I would give it to her, and I would specify to be careful and make sure her aim's true, and try to hit just the bandits.
Okay.
And not
Do
to
it.
hit us.
I can do it.
And then lastly,
Mhm.
Septimus will use one of his infusions
Ooh.
to, which one was it that I had? To put Mind Sharpener on his robes. Where while I'm using the infused item, whenever I fail con saving throw to maintain concentration of a spell, I can use a reaction to succeed instead, expending a charge. There's 4 charges on it.
Cool.
Excellent. Very good. All right. So, Bruce.
And so now we
yeah.
instruct Sal and myself will just be like standing there. Do we see them in the distance or we just see torches?
You can see the torch lights, so they'll be here very soon.
And what time is it?
It's about 7 o'clock, 7:30 at night, so it's sunset. The sun is starting to set, but it's not below the
Just-
horizon.
And Fearn's with me?
Fear
we're-
is with you.
We're in the center of town with like a couple of tables knocked over for some half cover.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Okay, excellent. All right, and then Jacquet is only like 10 or so feet away from you in the well.
So he's left, right? He's off screen.
Yes. Yeah. You all are actually, the 3 of you are left of the screen of the battle map that we have up. I have your retreat position.
Yeah. Okay.
on the map.
Got it. Yep.
Yeah, so you'll have to use a little bit of your imagination for the middle of town.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Hughesville.
Excellent. Okay, everyone is in position. So, as the torchlight gets brighter,
I blow my horn.
love it. You can now see them coming like down the hill on the other side of town. You can see they're somewhat staggered. There's 3 groups with varying amounts within them. The front group is only 3 people. The back group looks like 3 people. And then the middle group is a larger cluster of the rest of them.
Yeah. I was
in the
gonna say,
Go ahead.
whenever I see either half-orc, dragonborn, or shithead,
Okay.
let me know when they're like close and they're pretty much like in the perimeter town. Septimus would like to just like raise a hand,
Absolutely.
and just like try to like parlay.
100%. So they are one of them is the first person you see. So as they approach, they seem to fan out a little bit to fill up their space, and you can see on the end, like the groups in the back have torches. The front group of 3 does not. And you see there's the big hulking man and the green-eyed man who are harassing Tora up front. With between them is this massive winged dragonborn walking up with half-plate armor on. That's the only of the 3 leaders Sass mentioned. You only see this dragonborn.
That's fine. And I kind of like mimic his movements to see if like he was going to be aggressive, but go to a point where like we're within like talking distance.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see the
like have Sal follow me at first, but then after a while to like tell him like just wait for a second, but not get too far ahead.
And then Fearn, are you sticking back a little bit or staying with Septimus up close?
I stay with Septimus.
Okay. So sort of you 2 and then Sal right behind you.
Yeah.
The 3 approach with the Dragonborn in front. The 10 bandits behind them sort of split into 2 columns, left and right, where they're basically like holding the torches on either side in a very threatening manner near any structures close to them. They're not actually lighting anything, they're just holding them so that you can clearly tell that they're pointing towards the buildings here. As the Dragonborn approaches. The Dragonborn is massive. Taller than both of you, as tall as Sal. as they come forward. And they look around and look at you. You speak for this town now.
No. But perhaps there's no way that we can resolve this without violence, is there?
You can bring your friends out. We're here for revenge. I haven't seen
Revenge?
you yet. I'm assuming you're friends with the cat and the witch.
What of it?
And you hear the green-eyed man comes up from bed. No. I saw that one. Looks at Fearn. He's friends with the witch. He started this whole thing.
What revenge you speak of? Killing the people of this town with the stuff that you're peddling?
You would hear from the back, up like the way back of one of these columns. Revenge for my cousin. That witch smashed him to pieces. Little pieces. And that damn cat. He killed Quiet Dane's girl.
From what I understand, that after you attacked them, were they not acting in self-defense?
Sneaking around, prowling around. And you hear the dragonborn. Quiet. Regardless, business is business. And you're in the way of our business.
Fearn steps up and says, "We're not in the way. In fact, you're just looking in the wrong spot. Those two, yeah, we traveled with them, but after they escaped your clutches, they knew they were outnumbered. They weren't brave enough to stay behind and defend this village. They ran east or south towards Hyven.
You giving away your friends' escape? Can you tell us where they are?
No friend of mine would leave these people to die.
It's a dead town. Doesn't matter anymore. We're moving on, but we got one last thing to do today. And you hear this little the cocking noise, almost like the cocking of a gun, and then the discharge of a shell as the little canister flings out of this dragonborn's sword as they pull it out, and it ignites with arcs of lightning. And she just holds it out, reverse gripped towards you, Septimus. They're not close enough. You guys kept a healthy distance. You can come easily, or we can kill you all.
Fearn summons his sword and says, "If you think this is the last thing you're gonna be doing any day, you fucking idiots."
Death it is. Roll initiative.
Okay.
Damn
Ooh,
fear.
the tension. The tension.
Oh my god, what is that?
The cat.
He bap.
He was he bap. So
He
said.
bap. Yeah.
Bap. Ooh.
Okay. 20. I love this. That's great. That's Jacquet in the well
That's
right now with the
yeah.
bucket. He's not even listening to the conversation outside. All right, so 20 to 25.
Good.
If he was listening, he would have spoken up before now.
Okay. 15 to 19.
19.
19.
17.
16.
Ooh, nice.
Yay, Brucey.
Yay.
Okay. 10 to 15.
Oh no,
5
guys.
5 to 9.
6.
8.
Oh.
Fuck me, right?
It's okay. We're the front lines. We don't have to go first.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, right. Let me just get this all down right. It's gonna be the Dragonborn first.
So, Sean,
Yes,
since I am hidden, would I technically get a surprise round?
if you wish to act here, yes.
Me too.
Well, why don't you both give me stealth checks? That's where we should have started there.
So,
Ooh, baby. Natural 20. Or 26.
24.
All right, yeah, you two are hidden. If you absolutely could get a surprise round on them. Granted, you have to like, it's the kind of thing. No, yeah, absolutely. This makes sense. Yeah, the surprise round still makes sense. But let me finish writing this down. My brain couldn't remember Fearn's name for a second.
It's Spearn.
Thank you. All right, so before the Dragonborn can go, I'll say like your opportunity for a surprise round is when you hear her pull out the sword and say, we could do this. We can either kill you all or you can come with us. I'll say Sass, you at the 19. Sass, you can go first. Jacquet, you can go second for this. They have the surprise condition for this round.
Okay.
So Sass, what would you like to do? You're at the Windy Mercado, so they are a little far away from you. At the center of town, not by no means out of the range of they're like 100 feet from you.
So I was gonna say, Septimus, did you tell me how far I can shoot with this cannon, and potentially with the radius?
I'm gonna leave that at the DM's discretion.
Great.
But whatever he relays is what I would tell you.
Great.
I imagine it's not 100 feet away. I imagine it's like a shotgun, and then it extends out.
Yeah, so it is more of like a big blunderbuss in sort of way. So it's not gonna be 100 feet. And I'll say like
okay.
Now that I'm looking at the map and I know how long the Windy Mercado is, they're more like 60 feet away from you.
Okay. And what would the range of the cannon be?
The range of the cannon for like what you're trying to do, I'd say is like 30 feet.
All right. So let me just check one quick thing. I don't know. I do know, but do I want to do that yet? No. So could we hear the conversation? No, I'm going to say probably not. But what I probably could see would be the sword.
You would see the sword
igniting.
come out for sure.
All right. So what I'm going to do then.
Oh, I would say actually, because I'm just looking at like best I have for this hand mortar. It's 30 feet, and then it does go further, but has disadvantage. It goes further to like 75 feet.
I'm gonna wait till they're closer.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I am going to Eldritch Blast at this because that's 120 feet at the
Dragonborn.
Yes.
Okay.
As soon as I see that sword, it was almost another natural 20. 21.
21. That will definitely hit.
Fabulous. That is going to be 10 points of force damage. Oh, wait. Do I get 2? Oh, I get 2 beams. So, pew pew. Second one. Nope. I don't think that's going to hit. Just a 10.
Sorry.
That's okay.
10, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
10 points of force damage, and then my second beam is gonna miss. I'm assuming with a 10.
Yeah, that's gonna miss.
Yeah. Okay. So one ghostly green seaweed blast.
All right, so you pop up from the rooftops and fire this off. It's sort of this situation where they pull out this sword and they look to you, Septimus. Fearn is currently calling them idiots, basically over your shoulder comes one of these eldritch blasts that hit into the shoulder of the Dragonborn as a second one skids past their head.
Hit somebody.
No, combat has officially started. Then,
Hey!
Jacquette, you are up next.
So just for have any of them passed the well?
No, I imagine Fearn and Septimus were set up in front of the well.
Okay.
So they're like 10 feet from the well, I would say. Well, the
Okay.
enemies are more like 15 feet from the well.
All right. Then Jacquette is just going to hold his action that should anyone come poking their heads over the side of the well, he's just gonna shoot them.
Okay. All right. Holding your action for anyone sneaking over by the well. Excellent. We can start from the actual first round now with the Dragonborn up first. Reardon is up first and is going to go for a swipe on our friend Septimus. Okay, that first attack definitely does not hit with an 8. Second attack, 18.
Oh. I have
Probably gonna
7.
hit.
It does hit. What were you gonna say, Clayton?
Nope, never mind. I could cast maybe shield. Does that only works on myself?
That's on yourself. Don't worry.
Yeah, okay.
It's okay. It's okay. So just one attack. We're okay.
Okay, one attack. Let's get it. All right. There we go.
Nice.
Ooh. That's going to be 12 slashing damage.
Yep.
And 4 lightning damage. I forgot to mention you each would have a healing potion that you were given by Fanny. Okay. So that was their second attack. The first attack missed. That is the Dragonborn's turn. It is now Sass. It is your real turn. Jacquette's on deck. Then Bruce.
Okay. All right. I would like to use my bonus action to cast Hex on the Dragonborn. Let me just see. That's
What's the
90
range on
feet.
that? 90 feet's enough. Yeah.
Yep.
90 feet's enough.
And I would like to give them disadvantage on dexterity.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, you would all see that misty aurora seaweed wrap around the Dragonborn and then kind of tighten down on her.
And then I would like to pew pew again.
Pew pew.
Pew, pew. Wait, can I do that? Yeah, because it's a spell and a cantrip.
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. First one. Nope. Second one. Fuck. Same roll twice. Miss both times. Rolled a 9.
2 beams go scattering off the ground, missing.
Shit.
It's kind of like you can see, like they almost like stray bullets, like hit the ground and skid off.
A splash of seawater.
With a splash of seawater. Jacquette, you're up. So you can continue holding your action if you want.
Yeah, Jacquette is gonna hold his action and feel very useful.
Okay. All right, Bruce. Anything that you want to do? I know you're locked away.
Bruce is gonna be, his heart is racing a little bit. He's gonna be pacing back and forth in the corner, and at some point he's just gonna take a deep breath, compose himself. He's gonna cast Sanctuary on himself with a bonus action, and then with one more deep breath, he's going to just message over to Fear. Is everything all right? What's going on?
You can
Blood and
respond if you want.
destruction, friend. The time is nigh.
Oh, God. And that's it. Bruce
Okay.
is just going to, keep trying to control his breath.
Okay, it is the other bandits' turn. So they are going to start coming forward. The 5 on each side. You can see some of them are begin to fan out, like they're a little confident, probably a little maybe overconfident when there's these 3 in front of them, and they're like, all right, we can leave this to some of us. So you can see of those 2 groups of 5, you see 3 split off from each one, and then 2 come forward to attack each of you. So that is going to be a 18 to hit you, Fearn.
Okay. I think I gotta use a shield here.
Go for
I'm
it.
gonna use a shield. It doesn't hit.
All right. There's going to be a crossbow bolt sent over at Sal for a 22 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. Sal takes let's see, 2 piercing damage.
Yeah.
As I imagine it, it's like not even like really like it just like dents his chassis as it pings off. But he does take the damage. Another one is going to go for an attack. Yeah.
Sean, I just wanted to let you know that the half cover gives me a +2 to AC, so I didn't need to use shield there.
So this is a guy coming running up. This was a melee attack, not the So a guy is going to come up to attack Septimus. Septimus does a 15 hit.
No.
Okay. So guy comes up to go and swings his scimitar at you, and you're able to, I imagine, like even just like your like you just toss it away with your hammer. And then a last attack on going to miss. Another arrow skids off the shoulder of Sal, or a bolt, as these other ones start to fan out past them. Jacquette, this is your moment as you do see somebody, one of these 3 on the left coming, fanning out, does peek over the well.
So I'm going to ask, because I don't want to give away my position.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way I could do like a stealth kill here? Like basically shoot him, grab him, and pull him in. Like Assassin's Creed level shit.
Yes, I will allow it. I'm going to ask you to do a... I'm just going to ask for a few extra rolls after the attack roll.
All right. So do I have...
You have advantage. You do have advantage, absolutely.
All right. $14 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
Oh, thank God.
It's a bandit.
Yeah, but sometimes they have like a shield.
Yeah.
13 points of piercing damage.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you to give me a let's see, what would we do here? Like a sleight. I gotta say sleight of hand. Sleight of hand makes sense, right?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. 16.
All right, yeah. You see this guy? He peeks over, and like he was not even really like thinking anything. He's like, oh, maybe some kids hiding there I can scare. And he peeks over. He literally leans over, and just what happens? Because you do kill him.
Yeah. So just very and I imagine Jacquette's like almost like spread out, like he's got his legs out, like kind of leaning back. Fires up. The bolt goes right through the guy's chin, and immediately Jacquette goes
Nice.
And
Just
that
stop
makes
there.
that noise. Because he's like, God damn it, I just killed someone again. I don't know how to deal with this trauma. And then just grabs him and pulls him in. And then goes to lower him into the water, thinks better of it, and kind of tries to prop him on the bucket. So like his ass is in the bucket and he's just kind of hanging there.
Okay, I'll allow that.
Thanks.
So one of the other three that has gone up is going to take a shot at Saskia. That's an 11, which is not going to hit. There's going to be another shot from the third one for a 22 hit. So Sass, you're going to take 6 points of piercing damage as a bolt flings up, and you can feel it kind of like it doesn't pierce you. It just sort of rips over your shoulder. You have a big cut on your or not your shoulder, your arm, your forearm, as you're kind of like going out to shoot another Eldritch Blast. The other three seem to be rushing towards the Windy Mercato. They seem to just be looking around for the rest of you, really, Jacquet and any of the villagers that might be around. Okay.
Do they even know that Bruce exists?
There's some of them do actually, yes, because they saw you and Bruce really poorly stealthing across
That's right.
but they would be like, the group would be like, I think there's a kobold with them. Could have been a
Maybe it was a
goblin. All right, Fearn, you are up. Septimus, you're on deck.
All right.
So you've got one guy in front of you. You have next to that guy attacking Septimus is the Dragonborn, and then there are two more bandits about 10 feet past them, and then there's one other one attacking Septimus. So Septimus has 2 bandits on him. You have 1 bandit, and then there's 2 crossbowmen behind them. And then
So how many?
there's
in the
13 in
center?
total.
One in the center that were like
in the
that
center?
came down the middle.
Oh, they came down the middle. So you have oh my god, I'm sorry. The big guy and the green-eyed bandit, and then 2 general bandits. Actually, I just completely
5 or
forgot
6.
about 2 characters.
Yeah.
So
that-
there's actually so there's 6 that are going into the village, and there's 7 in front of you.
Okay. If you allow, there's a minor action Septimus kind of be like let's head back. So, Sass,
Yeah, you could
maybe do
absolutely
her thing.
whisper that to Fearn, but Fearn's up before you.
Yeah. That's what I say. There's 7 this way. Let's head back so Sass can hit it with the powder.
So
Or at least get an
Fearn-
attack off first, I'm sure.
actually, Fearn's gonna cast darkness on himself, and then he's gonna grab. He's gonna grab Septimus by like the scruff, you know, like on his robes, and then he's gonna cast darkness on. You know what? I'll cast darkness on Septimus because I grabbed him anyway.
So one thing I'll remind you is that while the darkness is on you, you two can't see out of the darkness.
Yeah, I
Right.
can't see.
But we're retreating anyway, so it's really just to
Yeah. I
avoid
just
an
mean
opportunity
you will
and
eventually get
don't get fired.
disoriented potentially,
I'll
because you can't see
probably-
where you're running.
I would just drop it on the ground in front of us so we can run out of it. So I'm not just like, where
Yeah.
am I?
Okay, I guess that's fine. I'll put it on the location where we're standing.
Okay.
But I do the same thing. I grab Septimus and I hold my run action, my 60 feet of movement for when he leaves, so we can dash off together.
Okay, so you're I would imagine what you could do there, because darkness is an action to cast, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
I
you can
still
just
have a
move your.
movement.
So you have your 30 feet to move, yeah. So do you want to
Right.
move, or you want to wait until? So you can run to 30 feet now, and Septimus can join you on his turn.
Yeah, I'm imagining it all happens at the same time, but I
Yeah.
wanted to lead him out so he knows that we're
Sure.
going without saying anything.
Absolutely. Septimus, are you just gonna go with that?
Am I right after him?
You're right after him, yeah.
Then yes. If this is the purpose of kind of disengaging, then yes.
Yeah, so I mean, Septimus, you can do a full disengage. There's no attacks of opportunity because they do technically get attacks of opportunity at disadvantage on you. But Septimus, you could do a full disengage. So there's just going to be one attack of opportunity on Fearn, but it's at disadvantage.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's not going to hit. That's a 13. So you hear them frustratedly yell as soon as this darkness just. Actually, Fearn, what does your darkness look like?
So it looks like that's a good question. I would say it kind of starts off as this black smoke that comes from the earth. It just steams out almost like geysers coming out of the cracks of the ground. And then kind of just settles in kind of a blackish, grayish mist that almost looks like a volcano just erupted within the area of the 20-foot square or whatever it is. And it's so cloudy and foggy that and 30 feet gets us kind of just out of it, so I'm kind of waiting ready at that point for them to come out, and then as soon as they can see, I'm there to strike.
What is this? Okay, so
That's pretty tight.
you two rush out of the of this fog, and you're both at the edge of the darkness at the end of your turns. The enemies are within that darkness. Okay, so that was Fearn and that was Septimus.
Dark vision doesn't go through. Dark vision doesn't count through darkness, right?
No, actually,
I
the only
can
person who can see
see-
through it is Sass with her Devil's Sight.
Well, that's just devil's. Okay.
Yeah, and technically Bruce with his Tremor Sense.
So yeah. Yeah, Sal and I will both disengage and move 30 feet back.
Okay,
Does that
perfect.
put us in front of the Mercado now?
It puts you basically, yeah, you'll be just short of the Mercado. It'll take you another 20 feet to get to the actual Mercado. You're basically it basically allows you to run past the well. It actually, I'm gonna say this all times really perfectly to be also exactly when Jacquette grabs the guy to pull him into the well. His darkness comes out to make all of that work kind of in unison. And the two of you are now at the edge. You're past the well, so you're basically 5 or 10 feet into the road where the caltrips are.
Okay, we were in front of the well. Got it.
Yep, you were in front of the well. Now you're 5 or 10 feet into the next area. Where there are caltrips now that you can avoid. And there are starting to be traps in this area.
And I like to position myself where Sal's in front of me.
Absolutely. This is also a position that once they come out of the darkness and they enter into this road area, is going to be when these archers might start to have shots on them.
And also, as retreating, wave to Sass without saying anything or yelling anything out, but telling her to be prepared that I'll actually do this, marking that there's 7.
Okay. And Sass, you saw the 6 that were fanning out. So perfect. All right, that was Septimus's turn. The Dragonborn is up now, and you see immediately as this foggy mist is obscuring things with magical darkness. You see the mist almost undulates as leaping out from the top, wings flapping, the Dragonborn flies up into the sky. You see the lightning arcing off of her great sword as she is up in the air now, looking down at you, Septimus and Fearn. But she used her movement to get up there. She would then not have enough to get quite to you, Septimus and Fearn, but she's basically going to dash down, and this is all kind of happening at the same time. She's chasing you, but she's only going to be able to get about 10 feet from you as she did this. All right, but she doesn't get an attack on you. Sass, you are up. You see all that happen. You see the Dragonborn in the air. It's almost like as you're getting ready to do whatever you're about to do, you see the Dragonborn come out.
Okay. Now the groups of bandits. There's the 6. There's 6, and then there's 7. Is there space in between?
So there's 7 in a cluster, and then there's 3 on each side of them, about 20 feet ahead of them.
All right, the cluster. How far away is the cluster?
The cluster is still out of range of the attack without disadvantage.
All right. All right. So then I'm still holding on that, not mechanically speaking, but not this turn.
Yep.
Seeing the Dragonborn fly up, use my action to Eldritch Blast, try and shoot her out of the air.
Okay.
First beam. Oh, fuck, that was so close. First beam misses. Second one is a 17.
17 misses. Just misses.
All right. Then with my bonus action, I would like to summon a tentacle. Now, when I create the tentacle, does it need to be attached to something, or can I make it wrap around her?
Read me the tentacle.
I can read you the description. You can magically summon a spectral tentacle that strikes at your foes. As a bonus action, you create a 10-foot long tentacle at a point you can see within 60 feet of you.
Yeah, I'd say it comes out of a portal or something. If it's a point,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would allow that, since it says at a point you can see.
Yeah, and I can see her within 60 feet. Is she within 60 feet?
She, now that they've moved up 30 feet, then yes, she is within 60 feet.
All right, so then I will. I know this is probably I don't know if she's seen me yet or whatever, if it's going to give away the position or that.
They've already seen you. You've been firing Eldritch Blast from up there.
All right, great. Well, regardless, the tentacle comes out, and I want it to try to wrap around her. But I need to
go for an attack.
First. Yeah, that should do it. 25 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit. Yeah.
All right, so then that's gonna be 5 points of cold damage.
Okay, but that slows her down, right?
Yes, speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of my next turn.
That's gonna help your friends because you won't be able to keep up with them.
Yep.
All right.
Is the Dragonborn in the range of the powder?
The Dragonborn alone, yes, she is in range of the powder. Like the other ones, if they rush forward,
because they didn't move up yet.
Yeah, they haven't moved up yet.
Yep, no, I was just curious if she was.
Yep. All right, Sass, that was your turn. Anything else?
That is all I can do, because I'm not moving.
Jacquette, you are up. You basically kind of see this mystical darkness kind of feathering over the top of the well.
But would I have heard the large group of bandits move past me? No, right? They're still behind the well.
They're still behind. You would hear the Dragonborn move ahead of you. And for the purposes of everything happening at the same time, you can hear them. They're going to be moving past you.
Right. Well, for now, he's just going to recock the hand crossbow, go to wipe away, and goes to lick, and he's like, oh no, there's blood on there, and is kind of grossed out. But hold action, shoot anyone that looks in.
Okay.
Or I guess anyone that passes by that he can see, especially now that the darkness is around.
Yep, sure.
So.
Absolutely. All right. Anything else, Jacquette?
No, just the hold action.
Perfect. Bruce, you are up. Anything you want to do in the bunker?
So the Dragonborn is not landed yet, right?
Not yet. Yeah.
Okay. And so just show you. Okay. Imagine Bruce is looking out the window and just seeing a lot of blur moving around.
Mhm.
Like he's seen a darkness blur. He's seeing something from the sky. He's freaking out a little bit. He's gonna actually, the trap door that leads down to the basement of this building. He's going to just make sure it is locked. All right.
Yep, you could definitely do that.
Locked from the top floor, and then he's gonna run back to the corner and just keep observing. That's all he's gonna do.
Okay. And are you wearing your goggles to try to get a tremor sense for the ground above?
Yeah. I imagine he's going in and out. So, because I mean, he can't really see very far from a tremor sense. I don't imagine, or maybe he can from this point. But yeah, he's gonna put the goggles on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I forgot Hex is concentration. I took damage, so I need to do.
How much damage did you take? You took like 3 damage, I think, right?
No.
Oh, 6. It was 6. You're right. It was 6.
Yeah.
So go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw. DC is 10.
Yep, and I have advantage, but I rolled a 15 on the first one.
Yeah, because you have Warcaster, right?
Okay. Yes.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Then you're good.
So then but then I also forgot to do the hex damage on the Dragonborn.
Go ahead and roll that.
Attack. Yeah, sorry.
You're good. You're
My
good.
hunter's mark.
My
extra 3
God.
points.
How many? What was it?
3 points necrotic.
Okay. Alrighty. All right. Excellent. All right. So it is the bandits' turn at this point. So there are the group of 6. We're 5 now because Jacques killed one. They start to rush towards the middle of the street after seeing this happen. Jacques, you are going to see one of them. It is going to be a harder shot because they're passing by. They're going to have half cover on this, but you can get that shot off.
And there's still darkness above, right?
Yes.
So like, or was
it's kind of the thing is yeah. So I guess actually you wouldn't really actually be able to see out of the well right now.
Yeah.
I just realized. Yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of realized too. All right, that's fine. I don't see them.
Okay. But they use their movements to the 3. The 5. I'm sorry. The 5 actually are closer to where you all are at the edge of the darkness, and they kind of run haphazardly out of the darkness. So they don't really coordinate too well. So only a few of them are able to get to you, Bruce, Fearn, and Septimus. So there's going to be 2 that get an attack, 1 on each of you.
All right.
Septimus, that's a nat 1, so they're going to miss. Fearn, that is a 21.
Scrubs.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay. All right, Fearn, you take 6 piercing, or I'm sorry, not 6 piercing, 6 slashing damage.
Okay, I have to roll for Armor of Agathis.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
It's just 10 damage, sorry.
10 damage from Armor of Agathis?
Yep.
Damn. Yeah, what does it look like when this guy gets destroyed by the recoil of your Armor of Agathis?
He goes in for a strike, and I block it with my arm, and it like cuts into my forearm, and the blood that comes streaking down from the bottom of my thing just like starts a chill up his sword, down his sword and onto his hands, and he just like freezes.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's basically what you see. You see like on either side, you see some running out of the darkness, and you see a couple of them running towards you. One of them goes, and Fear, and you block with your arm. The sword sinks in a little bit as the armor of Agathis kicks in, and I'll say like it freezes up his arm and starts to freeze him, and then some of your blood almost like globules out, and then freezes into shards that shoot into him. And
Nice.
he's dead. A frozen statue there.
How much damage did I take?
6 piercing.
Sorry, yeah. Got it.
And then one of them is going to go for a shot on Sass upstairs. Sass, that's a 22.
Yeah.
4 points of piercing damage as another bolt scratches at you.
Ouch. And I need to roll concentration again.
Yep.
Oh, but I have advantage. Oh no! Hex is gone. I rolled a 9 and a 6.
Okay, so Hex is gone.
Sure.
And then the two of you also see coming out of the fog is the other bandits who are coming rushing forward. They are in an awkward position where they need to use their dash awkwardly to step out of the darkness, because their 30 feet just gets them to the edge of the darkness. They're in the darkness still, so they have to use their dash. They're not going to be able to attack you, as everyone just seems to sort of like scatter out in a cluster, and then kind of using their extra speed to come towards you all. You need to be very careful here because they're nearly surrounding you with that extra speed.
Yep.
Okay. Fearn and Septimus, you are up. There are there are 2 on each of you that could get attacks of opportunity on you.
Okay, I think I go first, right?
Yes, Fearn is first, and then Septimus.
I'm gonna swing at one of them.
Okay. Oh, I need to roll. Check.
Does a 17 hit?
Yes.
10 slashing damage.
10 slashing damage.
Yep.
All right, how do you want to kill another one?
I pull my arm away from the other one, and with my other arm, I summon my sword above my head and just slam it down onto him and just take a clean chunk out of his shoulder.
All right, excellent. So that is 3 bandits who have been taken out, 2 by Fear and 1 by Jacquette.
I get another attack.
Go for it. There's one more on you.
All right, swinging again.
So this one is the big guy. So you have a feeling he's not going to go down as easily as these other ones.
Okay, 21 to hit.
That hits.
All right. Nice rolls. I got 14 damage that time.
Damn.
Hell yeah, dude.
Nice, dude.
All right.
Fucking
Yeah,
rampaging.
you bring it down, cleaving into that one guy's shoulder, and drag it out and bring it up to hit into the big guy. Kind of like it's almost like it hits into his armor for a little bit, and pushes in, but he kind of shoves you off, showing that he's taken some hit damage, but he's still in the fight and still after you. He's taking
That's
an
one of
interest
the
in you now.
Other goobers.
Yeah, so this is
I
the big guy who was with the green-eyed guy intimidating Tora back in there.
Okay.
Yep. Back in the farm. Val is his name. The only person who knows that is Sass. And
So how many people are now in front of us?
So basically, you've got some people who had to kind of scatter to the sides, and you each have 2 on you, basically. So, like, you have a way out. You can still escape from them, but you have 2. Well, Fear only has 1 on him.
So I'm saying there's the Dragonborn, there's the green-eyed guy,
Mhm.
and then I have 2 bandits on me.
Yes. And the Dragonborn is like about like 10 feet above the ground, still flying.
Oh damn. Okay.
You should have killed me in that farmhouse.
So there are only 4 on the main path here.
Yes, and then there are
3 on each side.
3.
Going around.
Yeah, exactly. 3 on each side.
Got it. Okay. Is it my
So,
turn?
yeah, Fear, and he just growls back at you. He looks to be getting himself worked up. One might say he's about to be in a rage on his next turn. Septimus, what would you like to do? Well, realistically, actually, Sal is in front of you, actually. I just remembered.
Yes.
So...
So if I try to like run back, there'll be attacks of opportunity.
There'll be 2 attacks of opportunity on you.
Okay. What I'm going to do is this. Yeah, let's touch. I'm gonna first cast as a bonus action Shield of Faith on Sal,
Excellent.
which gives him a +2 to AC
Oh,
for
yeah?
the duration. Then I'm going to use my action to disengage.
Perfect. All right,
And
so
then I'm going-
Sal has +2 to his AC, and you are able to run back 30 feet
Yes.
down the road. Perfect.
Yes. Which should put me within the battle camp, right?
Yes, actually, it will. And and basically you ran down the 30 feet of caltrips that was laid out. So anyone who's chasing you is going to have to move through those.
Yep.
And perfect. Anything
Now,
else?
For Sal,
Yes.
so when the Dragonborn was coming down, it flew up and it was kind of like diving down.
Basically, yes, it was diving down.
How far away would she be from Sal?
10 feet.
Just straight above or like diagonal?
Straight,
above?
like at an angle. 10 feet at an angle.
I want to position him in a way, I guess, if he moves back, where I want his action to be held so he can try to grapple her.
Hell yeah, I love that. Yes, you can definitely hold his action to grapple her if she becomes within 5 feet of him.
Okay.
Excellent.
Then
That's Sal's turn.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I don't think he has any bonus actions.
It's the Dragonborn's turn.
So
So,
20 feet. Sorry, 10 feet.
well, the good thing is that she's only 10 feet away from Sal, so she can still dive onto him. So
Yeah.
she's basically diving with that sword pointed out. She's basically going for a lunging stab from the air on him. But as she gets within 5 feet to do that lunging, you will get a chance for Sal to grapple her.
Good, Sal.
Get him.
Grapple's just what is that? Athletics check
Yeah.
for me. Yes. So it's
Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
Oh,
She
almost-
got
Oh.
she got a 15.
Oh.
+2 plus proficiency. Damn, no, yeah, she beats it.
Where's
Okay.
the silvery barbs?
in
Damn
the dark well.
I can't see.
Okay, she didn't roll super high on her attack. It's a 15 to hit Sal.
No, misses.
All right, so her lunging diving attack misses. Basically, she dives down, sword forward, and as she goes to stab at Sal with this like force of dropping from the sky too, that was going to deal more damage. It's a specific ability. He grabs her arm, and I'll say this is how she doesn't succeed to grapple her, but he does succeed in pulling her arm so that it stabs past her, past him, and he just pulls her to the ground, and now she's standing face to face with him. That did require her full action to do the diving maneuver attack, so she does not have her second attack on him.
What a king!
Just how I trained him.
And then just lastly, Septimus is like a minor action. He'll give a gesture to Sass that maybe it's time, even though Fearn's in there.
Okay. Perfect timing for Sass's turn.
Yeah. If anybody could hear her, she would just be going shit, 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 shit. But taking this as like this is probably the best it's gonna get because they keep spreading out with every round. I will aim and fire the cannon at the place that's going to do the most, get the most.
Yep.
Just tell me where
I
tell me
will.
where to
You don't.
place it.
I'm not even gonna tell you. I'm gonna ask you. Just gonna roll, and I'll
Okay.
automatically
Great.
put it in the spot that has the most.
Thank
Since
you.
I know we're not
Thank you.
on the battle map right now because this is too big of a battlefield.
Where what?
It's
what
a
do I
ranged attack
roll?
basically. It's a ranged attack, so you can do D20 plus your
Six.
well, it's just
Yeah.
plus your dexterity because you're not proficient in
Okay, so plus 3.
guns.
But I'm a pirate. 15.
Makeshift guns.
Okay, 15. I think 15 is good. So basically, you are shooting this down into the cluster where Fearn is, and it's
Sorry,
going to
Fearn.
get all of the enemies in there, but it is also going to get Fearn. So it's going to get
You're
1,
tanky.
2, 3, 4. 4 of the bandits are going to be caught, including the Dragonborn. And basically, you shot it where the 3 strongest bandits are. So
Yes.
this is good.
Great.
All right, so
15 doesn't beat my AC though.
it's not about AC. It's about hitting a spot on the ground.
Mm.
All right. And 15 was basically exactly what you needed.
Thank
Wasn't-
God.
Tell me it's a
that
con.
almost did not
Tell
work.
me it's a con saving throw.
It is a con saving throw.
All right, fine.
Which is
we're
why
good.
it's fine for you.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Yeah, I figured.
Also, you could have shot me in there too.
Okay. So that is 13.
I'm just gonna roll.
Okay. So
Yeah, you're good, Fear.
Ooh.
so
21.
nice. 2 out of the 4 bandits fall prey to the poison. It is the big guy. Big guy falls prey to the poison, and the little, not the green-eyed guy or the Dragonborn, but the general bandit that's in there as well. So you watch as these 2 bandits start to immediately are coughing a fit up, and they drop to their knees, completely incapacitated by this until they make their saving throw on their next turn, at the end of their next turn. As 2 of them are just completely incapacitated. You see the big guy who had was pulling out basically this Zweihander to use against Fear, and just sort of immediately drops it and falls to the ground coughing. The other bandit is just the other bandit basically is coughing so hard he's throwing up at this point and might psychologically be out of this fight.
Hell yeah.
But the Dragonborn is not affected by it.
Maybe not by that, but I still have a bonus action. So
Go for it.
Oh, there he is.
I'm
He's
back.
alive.
Are you
Oh
back?
my
Are
god.
you good?
I'm back.
You got
Oh,
armor
no.
of a gothist.
But the stream ended.
The stream did
Yeah,
end.
we rolled really well
No.
while you were gone, and
Yeah, we
everyone's
won.
dead.
And
We
we
won.
Yep.
I mean, it is
Yeah.
getting pretty late.
No. No.
Okay, you want Oh, wait. We're back.
It's back.
His stream went off, but we're back.
Oh, and it didn't interrupt.
And we're back.
Okay. Bonus action,
Sorry,
Sass.
friends. Bonus
Sorry
action.
about that. My internet decided to
Tentacle.
be weird.
Yes, tentacle number 2
Go
coming out.
for Dragonborn
and-
again.
Yep, and this one comes out of the ground next to her and just goes for a backhand.
Excellent. Go for it.
Come on. Ugh. 17. That
17
misses,
just
right?
misses. Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Okay. All right, Sass. That is the end of your turn.
Yeah.
All right, Jacquette, you are up. You heard all of the bandits move past you at this point.
All right, so at this point, Jacquette is going to hoist himself out, and then he's going to kind of skirt the perimeter, I guess, to the north side, And the moment he sees a bandit that's like in the back, he's just gonna start, methodically working on anyone in the rear to try to take them out so no one else sees them.
Do you you are still technically stealth, so you have advantage on this first attack.
All right, cool. Dirty 20 to hit.
Absolutely hits.
Uh, 11 points of piercing.
Yeah. How do you want to do this on the first one?
So this one he's gonna shoot in like the back of the knee to take him out of the fight instead of killing him. And then, if possible, using the rest of my movement, I'll bonus action hide. Or if there's nothing close by, I can feline agility to get an additional 30 feet to then bonus action hide.
Yes. Looking at where you would have come out, you would have used like probably 20 feet of your movement to get out of the well and to your position out of the darkness. So you'd have 10 feet left. I mean, realistically, you could just back into the darkness and then and step out after if you want, or you can use feline agility to go hide in the smithy.
I would rather have line of sight so I can
Yeah.
silver barbs.
Basically, what you do is you dash quietly and jump over kind of like the small fence of the outdoor smithy and just like hiding amongst the tools. And you can go ahead and give me a stealth roll.
$21.
21. Yep, you are good to go. You are hidden.
All right, cool.
Nice. Very nice.
End.
Whoosh. All right, Bruce, you are up. You do see with your blind, your tremor sense now. You can see that. Well, I guess you can see. Yeah, you can see Septimus. You can see Septimus at this point, just outside of the Mercado.
Okay, and I can't see Sal though.
No, you don't see Sal. You don't see Sal. You just see Septimus.
And if I take my goggles off, what do I see?
You would be able to see.
Blobs?
You would be able to see the blurriness of Septimus, and then if you look to your left, you would really be hard to see, but you can see just a little bit of the fight. So you would be able to. That part's too far away. It just looks like blobs.
Okay. Oh. All right. Sean.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hold a spell, but I'm not gonna tell you what spell it is.
I'm fine with that, as long as you tell me what the trigger is.
Yeah, the trigger is an enemy I deem worthy.
Okay.
That I can see.
Okay.
All right. Yep.
Hell yeah. I accept it. I accept it.
Okay.
Excellent.
Actually, yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run over to the... I should have done this before. I'm going to just run back there. Let's say I did this retroactively, but I can do it on my turn. Bonus action, I'm going to put a snare on top of the trapdoor.
Okay.
And I'm going to go back and hold
call.
my action. Okay, bye.
Good call. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
I love it. All right, so now it is the archer's turn. Now that they can see some of this action, they're going to fire off at some people. All right, so there's going to be 3 shots coming from these archers that are going to be on the... will probably be... Yeah, there's going to be one on the... one on the Dragonborn, which is going to miss or bounce off of her scales and armor. One on one of the bandits, which is going to just hit. And another one on a bandit. That's not a d20. It is going to miss. All right, so one of the bandits is going to take a shot. So you see, basically, you start to hear these arrows coming through. Sass, you hear them whistle past the rooftops down onto these bandits, and you can see one of them hits a bandit right in the shoulder, right as he's like going to grab his scimitar towards Septimus. Or not Septimus, Fearn. And then the other 2 arrows miss. All right. It is the bandits' turn now. Green-eyed man is going to look at Fearn, or actually no, is going to look at Sal now, seeing Sal there. Actually, no, he's not going to look at Sal. He's going to look at Fearn and then look at Sal, and he's going to look back at you, Septimus, and he's going to grin. He's going to look back at the Dragonborn. He's going to grin back at him, and you can see he grabs into a little pouch at his waist, where you can see he pulls out this like just tuft of gem dust that he just.
Wait, is this the green-eyed man?
Yeah, it's the green-eyed man.
I thought he got affected by the thing.
No, the big man did.
Oh, the big man. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. He grabs just sort of this random dust out of this pouch, and he just sort of immediately just tosses it in his face and inhales deeply, and turns invisible.
Counterspell.
Oh, it's...
Hell yeah.
oh shit.
Okay.
I've been
You've
waiting
been waiting.
all
Yeah,
game
You've
for
been
this.
waiting
I've
for
been
that.
on a sticky note.
Counterspell's a 3rd level spell, right?
Yep.
Doesn't
Yeah,
work.
that's-
Doesn't work. He does not turn invisible. Instead, he's covered in glitter.
Oh, that doesn't work. Okay, great.
No.
Yes,
Counterspell
that's
works.
very strong.
Absolutely. He starts to turn invisible, and then Shannon, what does it look like when Sass casts counterspell? Almost said counter strike.
What does it look like? I
See
feel
us
like
go.
I've overused the seaweed here. I'm gonna say, you know what I'm gonna say, that a bunch of seashells just rain down on him and totally and totally just disorient him, and he can't cast a spell.
I'll say his magic, whatever magic he was casting, just turns into sand and seashells,
there you go.
and
I
falls
love
to the
that. I love
ground.
that.
And he just looks, and he's just like, and he looks with a panic to the Dragonborn, having used up that part of his turn. All right, so
I
that's
give him a smirk.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
All right, Sass, you're gonna get 2 bolts flung at you.
Okay.
You did it now.
I'm rolling too well on these bolts on you, particularly Sass.
No.
That's a dirty 20 and a 22.
Fuck yeah.
Oh jeez.
Oof.
It's
Okay,
fine.
that's 4 piercing,
Okay.
and then 2 piercing.
Okay. We're okay. We're all right. We're all right. I'm at half. We're fine.
Go prone. That way they have disadvantage.
Drop to my belly.
2 are gonna fire at you, Septimus.
Where are these 2 coming from?
So there was the 2. So there's the 4 in the middle. Well, really, there's 3 in the middle where Fearn and Sal are, and then there were 3 on each side that were coming out of the darkness. One of them was killed on the left side, so there's 5. There's a group of 4 and a group of 5.
Oh, I see.
So 2 of them attacked Sass. 2 are going to attack you. 1 is going to attack Fearn. All right, so does a 17 hit Septimus?
Wait, what if it's even again?
Yeah, if it's even,
does
it
hit.
hits. It hits.
Meets it, beats it.
Okay, so unless you're gonna cast something.
Shield.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Does shield adds 5, right? So
That's
a
5.
19 wouldn't hit also. Okay.
No.
Correct.
So both of them
Nice.
miss you as your magic completely. Actually, what does it look? What does your shield look like? Because you can flavor this to not be magic if you want. You can flavor this to be the arm.
Yeah, no, my shield instead, you just see they're firing bolts at me.
Yeah.
My mechanical arm just like pops out and then just like grabs one and like deflects the other.
Deflect missile,
Yeah.
deflect missile, deflect missile.
No, maybe later on when he works on his arm, it can eventually deflect missiles, but right now it can't. But what it does do is it grabs one of them, and then you see the hand just starts to spin rapidly, and it just almost like rips the other one apart in the air as it flings over to it. One of them is going to fire at Fearn for 15 to hit. I don't think that hits.
Nope.
Yeah, Fearn. I imagine like Fearn, like one of the. This is a dull bolt. It just kind of like bounces off your actual flesh, your shoulder.
Nice.
As the bolt, you barely notice it as you're looking at this big guy who's on the ground coughing and smirking at the green-eyed man who's not invisible anymore. All right, that's the bandits. Fearn, you're up. Septimus, you're on deck.
Yeah.
The big guy is on the ground hacking and coughing, right? So
Yes.
I should have advantage if I try
You
and
have
swing at
advantage
him.
on him because he's prone.
Yeah, he's gonna get swung at.
Let me just execute this motherfucker.
Yeah.
You think I wouldn't? Okay, here we go. Does a 16 hit?
16 on my friend here does hit.
Yay. We got 11 damage.
Love to see it. He is definitely looking bloodied by this second attack.
I'm doing it again.
Go for it. He's still at advantage because he's still prone because he's incapacitated on the ground.
Yep.
I'll do it again.
Okay. Is a 19? Oh, 20 crit! I got a 19 and a 20.
Hell yeah, dude. Bring it on. All right, so maximum damage, then roll your dice.
Okay, so
Lord.
what the fuck? All right. 4d6 maximum damage is 24.
24. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll just
I
take
don't
the
care.
first
I don't care.
two.
You do it. How do you kill this guy? Is he or incapacitate him if you want?
Nah.
Nah.
God, he didn't even get a chance to rage, which would have made this a lot easier
Mhm.
for him. Okay.
I try and do it as humanely as possible and go
Yeah.
for the old French style execution, chop off his head. But I'm not a French style executioner. I'm using a giant greatsword, which is
Yeah.
not what they use.
Mhm.
So I have to give it an extra swing in order to finish it off.
Yeah. It's like the way the head gets cut off. The fell
Roderick.
beast's head. In oh no, that's a better comparison because it's an actual human. Yeah, like Sir Roderick. As it just the first swing goes through and it kills him, like he's dead. But but it takes a second swing to take the head off as it rolls into the dirt, as you did exactly what they told you not to do. Behead a person again. Fear and head cutter, like whatever. Yeah, love it. Okay.
You're in the beheader.
Yeah, that's
You're
my
in the
turn.
beheader. Yeah. Okay. Septimus, you're up.
Septimus will shout out. It's like, at least keep one of them alive. The purpose of the battle was to keep them alive.
There's 3 of them. It's fine. I've got plenty of chances.
And then he'll cast catapult.
Catapult, classic. What are you catapulting? There's a bunch of caltrips on the ground.
Yeah, I was literally about to say caltrip.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, I'll whiz it at one of the bandits.
Okay.
That was shooting at me. That was shooting at me.
They were shooting at you? Perfect. All right. Is that a saving throw or an attack roll?
Dex saving throw.
Perfect. Does a 13 beat that?
Nope. 15.
Hell yeah. Go ahead and roll damage as these caltrips rain down on this bandit.
Well, it's just one caltrip that it just like levitates. And
Flavor-wise, I'm imagining it's like a couple of them that you're firing off.
17.
17. All right. This one of the caltrips goes lethal or non-lethal?
I don't want it to be lethal. I'm aiming
Okay.
for like his legs to like.
Okay.
Have him fall
I'm just
down.
gonna say it hits him in the head, and he does have like a gash in his head, but he falls unconscious from the strike. As a caltrip just off of his head, leaving just like a big bloody bruise and split skull. But he's not dying and bleeding out. He's knocked unconscious.
You didn't hit him with the pointy bit.
Yeah, exactly. So right now we have one No, wait, we have 2 unconscious bandits. Okay, and a couple dead ones. Anything else, Septimus?
I don't think so. No. Nope.
Okay. All right. It is the Dragonborn's turn. Okay. Let's see. So the Dragonborn is looking at Sal, who she was engaged with, but then looks
Oh
over.
wait, I'm sorry. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
If
Sal's
it was
turn.
still my
Yes.
turn, Sal. Yeah, it's Sal's turn.
Okay, so there's her and one bandit, but that bandit's kind of out of it on the ground.
That's the one that got affected by the
Yeah.
thing. Sal's just gonna go for a punch attack
Puncher.
on Dragonborn lady.
Math.
Or what? I'm sorry, what?
No, you're good. You're good. What is it? What is the attack roll?
Attack roll, I didn't even roll it yet. What is it?
It's it should be D10 or a D20 plus your.
It's +7.
profici-
Thank you, Jesus
Yep.
Christ. I'm sorry. I just.
We gotta get you a Sal
idiot.
cheat sheet because I know it doesn't calculate it for you in
God
D&D Beyond.
God
What'd you
damn
get?
it.
What'd you get?
Fucking that one.
Okay, all right, that's fine. That's fine. She reverses the same move that he did to her and grabs his arm and just pulls it closer to her. And now it's her turn. And she's gonna attack Sal.
Go.
Okay, so does a 22 hit?
That does.
Okay, so she's using a special ability here. Fear, and you will get an attack of opportunity on her. But she is basically using a special move. She's going to grab Sal and beat her wings, and she's going to lift 10 feet up off the air and then drop down on top of him, stabbing the sword
She's slowed
down.
10 feet by my tentacle.
This can still happen because she has 20 feet of movement. It's only 10 feet she
Okay.
needs to move, and then drop her weight down.
Well,
on
actually,
him with
no,
the
I
sword.
missed, so never mind.
Yeah. So Fear, you can go ahead and roll.
I say, how are you gonna seismic toss my boy like that? I got a 12 to hit. Unless I had advantage for some reason.
You did not.
She's grappling. Doesn't that mean I have advantage on attack?
It's not mechanically a grapple.
Okay. I'm assuming I don't hit.
What was it? Sorry, I was doing other math.
That's okay. It was under 10, I think. I honestly don't even remember. How do I even check the game logs? Oh, I got a 12.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna hit.
It's 12.
All right. So he is going to take 18 piercing damage. An 11 lightning damage.
Whoa.
Sal crumbles.
And he is
No.
okay. So basically you watch as she picks Sal up and just brings him up into the air 10 feet and just gets into position on top of him, arm on him, his holding onto his chest piece, blade up, and slams him into the ground, and then stabs the electric sword through his chassis. As you can see, sparks come off, and Sal is out of it.
How much hit points does Sal have normally?
21.
Okay.
Was this-
Never
was
mind.
this-
Yeah.
Was this a direct up and down, or is this a up and down towards our stuff in this direction?
It's not towards Septimus' direction.
God damn it!
As she would then stand up and look at Fearn.
Sean,
Mm-hmm.
this might be stupid, but would it be possible to cast Featherfall on him so he takes less damage?
I'm gonna say no because it's not his fall. It is her weight on him that is creating the effect.
Gotcha.
And Featherfall wouldn't do that to both of them. Okay, that's the Dragonborn's turn. Sass, you're up. Jacquette, you're on deck. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bandits left, including the Dragonborn. There are 2 unconscious, a couple dead, 1 incapacitated and hawking up a lung, but there are 6 active bandits left.
All right. I'm going to aim my 2 Eldritch Blast Beams at 2 of the 6 active bandits. First one is a 14.
Hits.
That's going to be 14 points of force damage.
Non-lethal? Or lethal? Let me ask you, is Sass thinking about that at all, or is she just firing off in survival mode?
She's just firing in survival right now.
Okay.
And yeah, she's not thinking about it because she's seen, like, she's really pissed at this Dragonborn right now, who just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going and won't stay down and won't stop. So she's just, yeah. So.
Okay. So he's dead. Next one.
Next one is 16 to hit.
That also hits. Go ahead and roll.
10 points of force damage.
He is also dead. As you just kind of, almost like finger guns off the hip, you fire off these 2 blasts, and it just goes right through each of their chests.
Yep.
Like
and
a beam.
I'm just not even thinking. But bonus action, 3rd and final tentacle on the Dragonborn.
Excellent. So that is.
There we go. 24.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Nice.
And that's going to be 8 points of cold damage.
Good stuff.
Very nice.
All right. Excellent. Jacquette, you are up. You see there are only 3 bandits left, and then her, the Dragonborn.
All right. Gonna move up to 30 feet. I assume none of them are within 30 from me.
Yeah, you could just literally pop up from where you are. You don't even have to move.
Oh, all right, cool. Pop up and gonna shoot one of them. 'Cause that's what I do. 22.
That hits.
15 piercing.
Yep, another bandit unconscious from your shot.
Fires, hits him through like the clavicle.
Hell yeah.
And takes him down. Just that searing pain I assume one feels. And then, how far away from the Dragonborn am I?
I would say that you are. I would say you're 30 feet from the Dragonborn.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, because you're like literally like right off the side of the road, hiding behind a bunch of like tools.
Cool. Okay. Shit. Bonus action, hide.
Okay, go ahead and roll that d20.
It's a 21.
21. Okay, yeah, you're definitely hidden. So yeah, there's not a lot of them left at this point. And they yeah, so Bruce, you are up.
Sean, do I have vision of the other guy that went after Septimus that Saskia canceled his
I would say yes. I would say yes, you could have vision on him.
All right. So using my hold action from previous round, Bruce is gonna, in Avatar: Last Airbender, when Iroh's teaching Zuko how to bend lightning, essentially.
Yeah.
All right. So Bruce is gonna take a deep breath and point at him and point in the basement of the where he is, and he's gonna cast Vortex Warp.
Holy shit. Okay.
What is that?
And you have to roll a DC 16 con saving throw.
Holy shit. Okay. What was the DC again?
16.
Con. Yeah, you rolled 10.
He gets warped into the basement, and so and Bruce is just gonna point at where he is, and then just trace along his arm, and then point at the ground, and then just point down there.
What does it look like,
Wow,
on the
Bruce.
battlefield? What does it look like? What happens to him? Like that lightning surges?
It's almost as if there's like a vibration in the ground, and there's like dust kicks up, and then he just disappears.
Yeah. Basically, yeah, absolutely. All that dust kicks up. There's a little bit of arcing lightning, and then he just sort of like disappears and just. What? He's stuck in the basement with you. Okay. All right. Excellent, Bruce. I love it. Love everything about that. All right. Archers are gonna fire at the Dragonborn.
What's gonna happen with the Dragonborn?
Archers are firing at her.
Oh yeah.
All right. That one misses. That one hits. All right. So 2 miss, but 1 does hit. As you can see, an arrow just goes right in her back. It takes 2 points of piercing damage. Septimus, Septimus, you watch as she did this to Sal, and it just kind of like holding onto his mangled body, as this arrow just flies into her back, and she just peeks over her shoulder and makes eye contact with you, and then kind of looks around to her remaining fighters. Bandit's turn. Let's see. We got 1 weak bandit who's seen all of his friends taken out by the shadows and green bolts of evil. The witch. Yeah, that bitch is running.
Right,
That guy is outie. He is not trying to die. So is the other one. Outie running.
Which way are they running?
And then there's still one that's poisoned, right?
Yep, one is still poisoned on the ground. Let me roll his... Yeah, he's still poisoned. Rolled his con. So 2 of them bolt. It is just the Dragonborn in the middle, and the one on the ground coughing. The illusionist in the green-eyed man in the basement. She looks and sees her allies running. Her smile fades as she looks around, holding Sal, and looks to Fearn, and then looks back to Septimus. But Fearn and Septimus, you will have a turn before she is up. So Fearn.
We haven't seen, just to clarify, we haven't seen the other 2.
Nope,
Barnaby or
you do not see
Dalen,
Dale.
right?
You have not seen Dale, and you've not seen Barnaby at all.
Okay, just checking.
Barnaby.
So
Alright,
Fearn,
Sean.
you're up.
I'm doing it.
No one's gonna see Barnaby again. He's dead.
Does a 20 hit?
20 hits.
13 slashing damage.
Okay,
Second attack.
go for it.
23 hits.
Yep.
13 slashing damage.
Hell yeah.
Action surge.
Oh,
Oh my
I
lord.
forgot about action surge.
Oh my god.
Go for it.
18 to hit.
Just hits.
12 slashing damage.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Last one.
Yep.
20 to hit.
Hits.
Oh my god.
12 slashing damage.
Oh my gosh.
Come on,
50
Sean.
50 damage.
Non-lethal.
Lethal or
Holy
not?
Shit.
Non-lethal.
Non-lethal. Okay.
Chop off her wings.
There we go.
So, yes, her remaining colleagues have run away. One of them is stuck in a locked basement with Bruce, but we'll settle that next week. Because technically he did get a turn in there, so we'll settle that next week, though. As Bruce ends up in a fist fight with this guy. He's got the pot.
Bruce is on the first floor. He's locked in the basement. That's why
Oh,
Yeah, so I put a
okay.
trap on top.
He had tremor
I
sense, so
put a
he could
trap on
see
top and
below
made
it.
sure the trap door was locked.
Oh, I understand now. Great.
So
Excellent.
smart. So
Excellent.
smart.
But we thank you for joining us. We have to get out of here quick because it's way over time. You all did amazing. You really took care of him. Like, that was a very successful maneuvering. Good job. Level up. Level up is gonna happen. Not right away, because you're gonna have to long rest and all of that. But this is absolutely, if anything you've done deserves a level up, it's this whole town. So thank you everyone for joining us. We are going to sign off tonight. I'll send a raid over. But join us throughout the week for other programming. Check us out on Sunday for the Sean Enchanted Power, and come back here next Monday to see the aftermath of this defense of Billowgrass. All right, thank you everyone for joining us. See you later.
Alrighty.